TSF Entertainment.
Welcome back to the TSF Entertainment channel. It's Retro CG in the building on this good Sunday evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. And I'm joined by my brothers, DJ Fresh, Your Highness, and Mr. M2 in the building. What's good, brothers? Y'all hit the mics.
Got it. I saw the little one.
What's going on, bro? I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I looked up, like, oh, my mic is Yes, indeed.
All right, and shout out to the chat and everyone. Wishing everyone happy holidays. I hope everyone had a great Christmas, and we are ready to ride this thing on into the new year. As we are here today to talk about Power Book 44, Season 3, Episode 308, Build Back Better. What did you guys think about this episode? I'm going to start us off by saying this was a great episode, a good episode. I do got a few things I need to nitpick about, but overall, it was a really good episode. And I must say, even though, we do our little nitpicking or whatever, I have really enjoyed this season. And for it to be the final season and them wrapping it up, we're down to the wire now. The pacing has been pretty good. The pacing has really been good. Doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like they're going to leave many storylines open, even though I feel like we're going to have a few that are lingering. But what are y'all thoughts on the episode? Ain't no RIP King Kilo DeMarcus. Don't come over here. We are Team Tommy over here for the most part. We're Team Tommy over here for the most part. Ain't no RIP King Kilo.
I would have to say I gave it a 10 out of 10. Overall, I will say that some of the predictions we've talked about off screen and everything. CG. A lot of them you called, man. I mean, it almost sounds, and those predictions sometimes when you send that text and I'll be like, wait, what? And then when it happens, I'm like, yeah, he had to go back and watch again. And it plays out just the way you actually said it was going to play out. And I mean, either you on the writers team or you need to be playing the lottery, bro.
I'm gonna run the lottery numbers. So our prediction videos, you need to be checking out our prediction videos. We don't get all of it right. But for the most part, we get a good bit of it right. Me and Fresh went back and forth Thursday night. We was up. Y'all was asleep. We was up. We were going back and forth. Who was right? Who was wrong?
Yep.
When we get to that scene, we're gonna talk about it. So we did get a lot of our predictions right as well from a lot of our early predictions and last week's recap. So all right, we'll go ahead and jump on into this. I'm sorry, Fresh. What did you think about the episode?
Oh, y'all, that's what I said. Y'all gonna hate me because I'm about to nitpick the hell out of this episode. I gave it a 7 just cause of some stuff that I got to nitpick out of this episode. So y'all ain't gonna like me on this. I already know y'all ain't gonna like me on this one because I got a lot of stuff to nitpick. Like it's just, that it was some stuff like I just couldn't let it slide. Shoot, as soon as we start off, it's some stuff right there.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too, Alex. DeMarcus sending us some Christmas love. Kenneth, best episode this season indeed. I agree. Happy holiday season. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump on into this thing so we can go ahead and talk about it. All right, so we'll start off with the episode synopsis. The episode title was Build Back Better, and I feel like that was truly the theme for this episode. Episode synopsis: after a major shakeup, Tommy moves fast to rebuild, and the stakes are higher than ever. I would have to say, Showstopper is starting to grow on me a little bit. And I wish Jack was on here because I know Jack would be looking at me like I'm crazy right now, but Showstopper is starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Or is that, as I love to say, a plot device? She still can't be trusted, but she's starting to grow on me a little bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so the episode starts off. You got the CSI forensic team is out. We have Stacy Mark's body covered with a sheet. We know from the last episode that she had been deleted by no other than Tommy Egan himself. We see our car approaching, which is Bobby DeFranco, who wanted. Now, see, this is where I'm going to start nitpicking because one of the officers tried to hold him back from going to see the body, which is his deceased wife, soon to be ex-wife, because they were going through a divorce proceeding, and knowing that they had just got finished having a conversation probably the same night. Because keep in mind, after Bobby left the office from Stacy, she sent the text to Tommy saying, meet tonight at 10 p.m. So this is still heavy on his mind, their last conversation. I expected him to be a little bit more emotional, and I expected more of his colleagues to be there to rally around him, to support him as he goes and looks at his wife's unalive body.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about this scene right here? Because you know I'm finna go in on about
Oh, when we get to a certain part, is when I'm gonna go in.
Honestly, I thought, you know what? I watched the episode, you know, that took place, and then when they started out and they were showing everything, I thought when he actually found the phone, I'm like, okay, Tommy didn't take the phone. Then I'm like, okay, he gonna find the phone, and she recorded the whole conversation where she had this conversation with Tommy before she was situated. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, when he found that phone, I'm like, he's finna hit this whole recording, but all he saw was the text messages. And then, you know, him making that, you know, doing what he did after that, making a call or whatever. I'm like, yeah, come on. But I mean, it was a good way to start out the episode, rather than giving us something else before and then adding this along. You know, they came out right to it. So I do appreciate that.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to start my nitpicking session here.
Oh yeah, come on, let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's go. Let's ride.
They didn't find that phone.
Let's ride. Well, that too. We're gonna start with the fact that how did the phone get up under the car? When Stacy got
shot, unalived
or blasted on, she was holding the phone in her hand like this. So when she fell, the phone should have fell beside her.
It did.
It did fall beside her. Okay, I thought it was just me that thought that. How did it get on the other side of her up under the car? Continuity issue in post-production. That's a big continuity issue in post-production. Just like this. First of all, nobody saw Bobby.
What's up, Retro?
Nobody saw Bobby slide that phone from up under the car. CSI missed it at the crime scene.
Yep.
Right.
When he goes to look at the messages, it says pageant to Tommy, meet tonight. No, excuse me. From Tommy to Stacy, meet tonight. She says where, and he says the location. That's not how that happened. That is not how that happened. Last week, this is what happened. This is what happened. Stacy sent a text message to Tommy saying meet tonight at 10 p.m. He writes back where. Major continuity issue in post-production. Get it together, y'all. Get us over here in that writer's room. Get us over there in that post-production team. We'll keep y'all together with storylines.
I'm so glad that you threw that up in there, because that was going to be one of the main.
That annoyed me so bad.
First, like you said, the phone being underneath the truck tire, I was like, she dropped it right next to her when Tommy one. I was like, two, you trying to tell me all these detectives, all these agents, all these agencies, you got like about 4 or 5 different agencies.
DEA, FBI, right, DOJ.
Nobody saw that phone but him. And then the same thing that you just put up, when I saw that, I said, that's not how that happened. I said, she hit him for the meetup. So I was like, why? I was like, so I'm glad you put that in there, because that was the first thing that I noticed. And I was like, okay, as Retro always say, plot device.
Yep. But
wasn't that phone in her left hand and not her right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because she on that side of the car. It should have
because she drew her pistol with the right hand and had the phone down to her leg with the left hand, So when he hit it, the phone should have technically been out in the street.
Yeah, it should have been right next to her because remember we talked. I don't know if you remember from last week, but I know me and Fresh talked about it because we brought this up last week in our review about the phone because we felt like the phone had some bearing or significance in it because she had it in her hand.
I remember that.
And we criticized Tommy for leaving it behind and not picking it up. So we assumed that it was going to be found. We knew that it was going to be found, but we expected it to have been found lying next to her, not up under the wheel of the truck. That just didn't make sense. So yeah.
When I watched the previous episode, I was just like, dude, you didn't take the phone.
But it also took me back to one of the comments I made last week too, wondering if that messages in the phone that they were going to find, were they going to use that against Stacy to say she was dirty, she was corrupt. And when I saw that they changed the order in the message, they made it look like Stacy was the one that was reaching out to Pageant when it was Pageant reaching out to Stacy when it was the other way around. So I'm like, okay, when they look at these messages, what are they going to think? You know, what are they going to put together off of that? So that was a major continuity issue.
Yep.
I think you're still right about that though, because come the next episode, you know, I think with the way things are going to turn, I do think they're going to make it look as if she was dirty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That later on.
Oh yeah. Right. I guess so. I guess maybe Bobby, but this was a burner phone too, so maybe she didn't have a password on or whatever. I don't even know why she had the damn phone with her to begin with.
Yeah, that was her burner phone.
Bobby gets back into the car and he goes through the call log and he sees there's a couple of calls in it, but one number in it, which we knew that he was going to call. CJ, you kind of touched on this a little bit in your prediction video. Back at Tommy crib, Tommy is getting ready to, he's getting his money up, getting his money together. At that time, we didn't realize that he was getting the money up to go try to do a re-up with Che, but he was getting his money and his weapons up, and he's having a conversation with Mireya about what had happened. He told her that he had to do something tonight that he had no choice but to do, that he wished that he could have done it another way. And then he goes on to tell her about the fight that he had with Diamond and subsequently him getting kicked out of CBI. Of course, Mireya decides that she is going to give Tommy some advice. She comments on his bruises and runs to the refrigerator to get her handy dandy first aid kit.
Hun, that first aid kit, boy.
I'm so damn tired of her that first aid kit.
Damn, Doc mixed up.
Man, she always sewing somebody back up. She always puts some peroxide on somebody. She always gets some bandages together. She always fixing on somebody with her first aid kit. And Tommy tells her that he'd rather burn the coalition down that he built rather than let them kick him out of it. And she tells him, don't burn it down, take it back.
Yep.
So what were your thoughts on this scene, Fresh?
I mean, pretty much we saw it coming. This was like straight on from the preview from the last one. So, and we called it when we said that Tommy was saying, he was telling Mireya to be quiet, knew right then and there. Now I didn't know it's going as far as this would be a call from Bobby. Mm-hmm. But we knew that it had something to do with Stacy Marks, which is what we said in our prediction video. That's exactly what he told her to do, was to be quiet because he wanted to see who it was that was calling. So, I kind of saw all of it coming. I didn't think that we were going to get it this early. At the very beginning, I figured it'd probably be later on. But yeah, pretty much saw this coming. With this was something that was anybody could have predicted, really.
So then you have Tommy pick up the phone because the phone's ringing. He looks at the call ID and it's Stacy Marks. Of course, like Fresh said, it's Bobby on the other end calling. And he picks up the phone. He doesn't say hello. He doesn't say nothing. He's listening to see who's on the other end of the call. And of course, it's Bobby. And Bobby is telling him that I know it's you, Tommy. And I know what you did. and I'm going to get you. And I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe you should have did a trap and trace on the phone and see where it pinged to, or
I mean, look,
I would have done.
yeah, they could have. I was about to say most burners you can't, but that's a whatchamacallit, that's a smartphone. So yeah, they more than likely could have. But I think right at that point he wasn't thinking logical. He was emotional and reacted because he pretty much already knew who was the person who unalived Stacy.
He was emotional at this point.
Yeah.
And of course he knew that Tommy was responsible for his wife's unaliving. Tommy, back at the crib, Tommy hangs up the phone and Mireya asks him, what was that? What's going on? And he's like, that was a threat. So then they go into a further conversation where he asks her, what are your plans for the day? And she says that she's going to go see her brother and then she's going to work. I'm thinking to myself, okay. And then he tells her that thing that I gave you.
Yep.
Go ahead and put that in your purse. Keep it on you, and do not come back to the crib without me. Finally, he tells her to be on the lookout, be alert, which I feel like maybe I'm being too nitpicky, but I think that he should have better prepared her for what was going to happen.
Yep.
He gives her very little details on what's going on. He should have pretty much told her, look, keep your head on a swivel. We got the Marquez cartel after us. We got CBI that's after us. You need to be, on alert. What's going on.
Yep.
So again, they leave the house to go start their day. Back at Diamond's barbershop, which I feel like the barbershop don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Diamond don't cut no hair. He don't fire all the barbers at the barbershop. I mean, Diamond trying to clean up the plates from where he don't whoop Tommy ass all over the basement. And
that barbershop is just a crime lair now. Like nobody cuts hair.
It's a crime scene.
Yep.
Nobody cuts hair in there anymore. Like there's no barbers. It's nobody upstairs. Everybody's downstairs.
See, Fluid, what you mean when how she got the pistol to work? She didn't get to work. She didn't make it to work. And today is the first time we've seen her carry it out because remember she went and got it out of the box to put in her purse. So I guess we're to assume that she had not been carrying it previously.
Yeah, even if she did, she's a nurse. Like they ain't coming through metal detectors at work. Like you just signing in and
maybe she left it in the car.
Nah, remember? No,
she hadn't even walked into work yet.
No, I'm just talking about previous to today.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right, Dexter. That barbershop has become the bat cave, right? So, as DeMarcus referred to them last week, the brothers of destruction. I don't know who worse in this case right here because neither one of them are good for each other. It used to be that Diamond was the voice of reason and Diamond was a rational brother, but on that drink, he's the opposite of that. And we have seen him do nothing but poor decision making based off of solely Jenard's influence. Jenard's influence over Diamond is a further to his detriment, along with the bottle. Jenard comes back and reports to Diamond that they had moved the stash and that it wasn't easy because they had to try to find a place where Tommy was not aware of for them to move their work to, their product to. And then they're talking about keeping the coalition solid and that how they need to go meet with, was it the RDs that they need or the Albanians or the Assyrians? I don't know. They got so many gangs now that I can't remember.
Jenard. Diamond tells Jenard to go lock down the RDs because that's why he tells her to go get Shanti so that they can lock down the RDs to keep them in the coalition, and he's gonna go holler at the Assyrians to keep them in the coalition. And that's when Jenard's like, nah, I don't need Shanti. I've been doing all this by myself. Like, I don't need her. And that's what Diamond tells him, like, nah, you do need her because with y'all are like the dream team. So you need to do exactly what it is I say and go get Shanti so that y'all can lock down the RDs. And that's exactly why right here, because there's a certain part right after he says that, his face, that I think that animosity towards Diamond is still there from Jenard.
Of course it is. And not only that, but he also asked Jenard, as Jojo referred to him as later on in the episode, Jenard. Diamond also asked Jenard, "Are you straight? You good? You say you good, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." He was like, "Well, I need you," as Fresh said, "I need you and Showstopper to show up. Y'all are the dream team. We need to show a united front. We need to let these streets know that we are together." They are also concerned about what Diamond is also concerned about getting to Che and getting word to Che what's going on with Tommy, because Diamond feels like Tommy is going to make a bold move to reach out to Che to try to secure work.
Yep.
Jenard, overzealous, overconfident, stupid, whatever you want to refer to it as, says, Che ain't gonna fool with him. Che ain't gonna worry with him. And Diamond's like, this is Tommy. That ain't gonna stop him from trying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said in the group text, every scene now with Diamond in it, he in a drink.
Yep.
In a drink. Jenard should have told Diamond here that him and Showstopper were having problems. He doesn't tell him until later on in the episode, but at this point, he was like, I don't need no ish to handle my business. I handle my own business. I keep me together or whatever. So, instead of him saying, hey, yo, I got caught up. I got caught up last week at the club. Me and Shanti going through some things. Maybe they could have went and approached her together versus him sending Jenard back over there.
But I feel like, in a sense, he kind of already knew that, because remember before they had the fight on the last episode, Jenard says to Tommy, like, you set me up.
But keep in mind, that was in the midst of the fighting and all that. Okay. So Diamond probably didn't process any of that. Even though he did say that out loud, I don't think Diamond processed any of that, because obviously not, because he wouldn't have been telling Jenard now to go back over there and take Shanti with the meat. So I think that kind of flew over his head. Once Tommy pushed him, it was time to bang this thing out. So I think I think Diamond missed that little detail from Jenard.
Gotcha.
And as Diamond predicted, Tommy did make contact with Che and request to meet for a re-up. We learned here that the streets already know about Stacey Mark getting put down, and Che's like, you stupid to request a meeting with me on your own. You don't got kicked out of CBI, and the streets are hot right now because some fool put down a U.S. attorney, and Tommy plays it off like he don't know nothing about it. Yep. Or whatever, and reassures Che that even without CBI, he still got the money and he still got the means to move the same level of product. At this time, Che don't told him, you do? He said, I don't think so. He said, I don't deal with bodega money. He said, I deal with Amazon money. He was like, I don't deal with bodega business. And Tommy says, although I appreciate a good bodega, I got you on the Amazon money or whatever. Che gives him a very similar warning that Lobos gave Ghost and Tommy back in season 1 of OG Power, that you were smart enough to make sure that you bring the same amount of money for the product. Because remember, he was digging at Miguel about re-upping for a lesser amount. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'll put this product in your hands or whatever, but you got 24 hours to move it and re-up, or not only am I going to unalive you, but your whole bloodline I'm going to unalive. And I'm like, okay, Che, that's kind of a serious threat.
Yeah, I didn't understand that though. Like, that was the only thing.
I got greedy. What I chalk that up to be is it's Tommy's fault, because the last few re-ups, Tommy has been coming in, popping off, trying to show out, and put Miguel on blast, re-up and double and triple. So Che don't got used to those profits. He don't got used to the double and triple money. So now you coming back and asking for less when you've been asking for more. It ain't no going backwards. It's going forward. So I feel like the threat was because, hey, you used to be picking up this amount of work. Now you talking about you want less? Nah, that ain't gonna fly. So he threatens him and pretty much tells him that, look, if you don't have that re-up money in 24 hours, you're out of here, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, because I kept wondering. I was like, I just didn't understand. I was like, why are you going so hard? I was like, this man been making buku money for you, and now you just automatically threaten him like you can't get it done. Like, shoot, remember, he was the one that brought Diamond to you.
Yeah. And
Like,
link you up.
And linked you up. So I'm like, now all of a sudden you don't believe what Tommy can do. So now that makes a whole lot of sense of exactly what you said.
So Tommy gets a text from Asher, the guy that he gave the weapons to last week episode, the guy he had gave the weapons to in the product, and said, "No, we're gonna go ahead and stay with Diamond and Coalition or whatever." Tommy thought he was gonna be able to bring him over to his new coalition that he's building. But let me stop right here and go back to something real quick. You know, in normal power, we always get to a point where we get ready to eliminate the connect. You know, in OG Power, we had to get rid of Lobos, we had to get rid of Milan, we had to get rid of Jason Mitchell, we had to get rid of the Jimenez. Why haven't we decided on how we're going to get rid of Che yet?
I think because of the
I feel like at the last 2 episodes, I don't know if we're going to be able to close that story arc out in enough time where it makes sense to us. So are we going to continue to work with Che, or is Che and the Marquez cartel going to eliminate each other?
Nah, I have a feeling they're going to continue. This is just my theory. I think I don't think Che is going to end up being eliminated. I think whoever, and I don't want to tell my prediction this early because we're only on episode 8. But a certain person that's going to become the kingpin is going to be the one who continues to move on with Che.
Or Queenpin.
Yes, like yeah, like
I'm there with you.
Yeah, like that's why I use a certain term because I ain't want to put it out there real quick. But yeah, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Is that whoever it is, they're going to continue to move on with Che.
Okay.
And that's why he's not even
out of Chicago.
Yeah, he's not up out here yet.
Okay, that makes a good point. Okay, so and what I like about Miguel's scenes is even with last week, he put his people on notice. Again, we see as they're walking through Miguel's lair, warehouse / house, whatever this place is. It's very unclear as to what this place is, because at first I thought it was a bar, but the house part of it throws me off, so I'm assuming it's a warehouse.
Yeah.
Mireya is like, what the hell is going on? And he's pretty much telling them that the Marquez tried to take me out last night. Everybody is on notice, or whatever the case may be. She goes in and she is a personal spokesman for Tommy and him linking up. Every conversation she had with Tommy, every conversation she has with Miguel, it's, you guys should work together. You guys should be friends. You guys should be this. You're super guys. You guys can work it out. And I'm like, I'm so tired of her advocating for this link up. But we see later on in the episode that they have no choice but to work together. See, this part of the set right here just doesn't make sense to me. It's decorated like it's a house.
Yeah, because I think that's where, I mean, we've seen it since Miguel characters came in that warehouse.
Yeah.
But I understand. Yeah, I kind of think the same thing. But I guess that's just like, I guess maybe to make it feel like it's a home or whatnot. So
Yeah,
they got a
it's
certain
home.
part of it.
That's the serving area.
Yeah. Just like Showstopper Gym is her home.
Yeah.
Right.
Her home. Miguel tells her that the cartel tried to take him out or whatever the case may be, and they're after him. And he pretty much tells her why they're after him, because he put a hit out on Tommy. And then she smacks him. I think she backhand smacks him and threatens him once again that if anything happens to Tommy, you're done. Again, continuity. What that line should have said was, if anything happens to Tommy, I am going to tell Che what you did to his son. You should have reminded him of that. If you want to threaten him with something, threaten him with that, because she threatened him back in episode 1 with that. And we thought that was something that came out in this season. So for continuity, they should have had her refer to that again as a threat to him, that if anything happens to Tommy, I'm going to tell Che what you did to his son to become the leader of the Insane Princess. He goes on to tell her, listen, calm down. All right, I called the hit off. That's why they're after me right now. So look, ain't nothing gonna happen to your little boy toy. And he pretty much tells her, look, because I love you, I'm not gonna let anything happen to him. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, or whatever the case may be. I'm really liking the character development with Miguel. I'm really liking the character development. They've done a very good job with the character development with Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, I'll wait for later to ask.
Okay.
Okay, so we had this discussion in the group chat. My thoughts and feelings are that Shanti looks like she's packing up the gym, like she's getting ready to shut it down. She ain't even got no lights on in the place. She ain't paid electric bill over there.
I mean, but it was always been dark in her gym. So I don't think I've ever seen her gym with lights on, except for at nighttime when she up at the little office or whatever.
In the little office area, yeah. I don't think she was packing. I think she was probably putting away like equipment from a sparring session because it looked like more like all gloves than anything.
Well, she's straightening up the place or whatever. Jenard comes in, beg her pardon, begging and pleading. And boy, I tell you what, they do a very good job writing his character and his begging because he is very good at begging. And he pretty much told him, like, listen, I don't want to be bothered with you. We through. And again, he goes back to trying to justify his actions at the club with Jade, being that Tommy set him up. And she was like, yeah, did Tommy also guide you into Jade? Did Tommy put you back on that stuff? Mm-hmm. Well, technically, he kind of did. But she was through with he set it all up. He set it in motion. He set it in motion,
but
his
you know, it
power wasn't strong enough. But a person who's, you know, a recovering addict has very weak willpower anyway. So it was bound to happen regardless. Tommy just kind of accelerated it a little bit. But that's neither here nor there because I feel like she was already through with Jenard even before that. Because remember, she was already upset with him about not taking her to the meet with Che. So that right there just made it confirmation for her that she don't want to be bothered with Jenard no more. And she pretty much tell him. Jenard's so petty. And he tell her once again she ain't ish without him and that he made her and that he's the real boss and blah, blah, blah this. He knocks her things over or whatever. So he's so petty. He knock her stuff over.
I was like, ooh.
He's not gonna little crate over.
he knocked the little crate around and like whatever. He had a little temper tantrum.
Oh man!
The line that she gave him as he was exiting the gym, she's like, "I can't wait to see you fail." I thought that was so funny because she's right. He is going to fail.
Yeah. He definitely gonna fail, little junkie.
Yeah, man.
Do you think there was any way that he could have flipped her?
Nope.
Do you think there was any way he could have gotten her back?
No,
because they
hell has no fury like a woman scoring, bro. He done.
Yeah, they was romantically involved, so there was no way he could have flipped her
it's
back. It was even if he said that I will take you to a meeting to meet Che, it wouldn't have mattered at that point because the damage was done. Like they were romantically involved and like she was hurt. Like we saw that last episode how hurt she was, and she told him she was willing to do anything for him. And he went along and did that. So at that point, it was like she didn't care no more after that. She was just like, nah. So there was none that he could have done to get her back at all.
We're going to talk a little bit more about it when we get to the scene, but I don't necessarily agree with that, DeMarcus, about Raheem being a snake for betraying Jenard, because I touched on this last week, as a matter of fact, as well. I said that Jenard lost a lot of his people's respect because Raheem did used to be Jenard's right-hand man. He lost the respect for Jenard when Jenard started getting on that stuff. That's what he always refers to.
Yep. He ain't no snake.
Stepping on the work with the powder, with the baby powder.
Mm-hmm.
Robbing Manny for his chain. So I think Jenard turned Raheem against him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't just out here snaking behind him. He was trying to be loyal to Jenard when nobody else was. But when he started to see Jenard breaking down, I think he lost a lot of respect for Jenard and made it easy for him to switch sides.
Yep.
Down at the U.S. Attorney's office, Singh is happy to announce that he is the acting new U.S. attorney. Imagine that. First, I'm gonna let you have this because I feel some kind of way about this. I can't stand Singh. I can't.
So, so Singh's down at the U.S. Attorney's office, and he's announcing that now he is in charge and will be taking over the unit. And their first course of action is to get the person who unalived Stacy. Agent Delgado seems to think that it was possibly the cartel hit, where Singh and Bobby tells her that it showed nothing of a cartel hit whatsoever. And while he's telling this is where Bobby asks him, can I speak to you for a second? Can I have the room? And during the process of speaking, he kind of hints that he has some piece of key evidence, but at the same time, he doesn't want to give over the key evidence because he know that him picking up that phone broke the chain of command, which is why he asked, can I tell you this stuff in confidence? So during the process, as he's telling Singh in confidence that he found the phone, this is a key piece of evidence that can lead them straight to Tommy Egan, because Tommy Egan is the one who took out Stacy Marks. And Singh even says it then, like, you took a key piece of evidence out of the chain of command. And that's when Bobby reiterates again, like, I'm telling you this stuff in confidence. And after that, that's when Singh tells him, like, we're going to do everything possible to make sure that we go and bring down Tommy for unaliving Stacy, which I feel like he is leading Bobby astray. I feel like that is I feel like he wants Tommy, but it's not going to be to catch him. Yeah, it's not going to be for him to catch Stacy for the whole Stacy thing. I have a strangest feeling like he's just telling Bobby what he wants to hear so that he can push himself to be like this big person and say, like, I'm the one who closed this whole case or whatnot. I don't think he's going to use that evidence at all that Bobby gave him. I think he's going to use it for something else, though.
Oh, he's absolutely going to use it. Bad move, Bobby.
Yep.
So
he's going to definitely use it.
Oh, he definitely going to use it.
Oh, I mean,
the way Bobby think is going to use it, but he's going to use it.
No, we're going to use it for. He's going to use it to get Ortega and them out of jail. That's what it's going to be used for.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be used for. So bad move Bobby decides to confide in, and he was going down the right path. He was going down the path that I predicted him to go down, that he was going to cover up anything that made Stacy look negative, and that he was going to keep Stacy's name clean. Mm-hmm. He was going to get rid of the phone. He started out on the right path when he told Singh that he had a hunch that it was Tommy Egan. What I found surprising was when Singh announced that it wasn't a cartel hit, when the other agent, what's her name first?
Which one?
The lady, the one that took Hartwick's place.
Delgado, Agent Delgado.
When Delgado said that it was a cartel hit, and Singh jumped up real quick up out of his seat like a jack in the box. No. It wasn't a cartel hit at all. Hit at all. And when Bobby agreed with him, I wanted Singh to be a little suspicious of that. I felt that Singh should have alerted him, like, I know why it wasn't a cartel hit. How do you know it wasn't a cartel hit? Why do you agree? Like, I wanted him to kind of, tip his hand a little bit or be a little bit nervous about why Bobby was agreeing to him. Like, what do you know? So then when they went into this whole dissertation about the chain of custody for the phone, he was like, you took evidence from a crime scene? And he was like, again, it was a hunch. What he should have said was he found the phone in Stacy's office. That's what he should have said about.
Yep.
I didn't. And then the fact that he gave it to Singh, I was like, yeah, they're not going to use this to keep Stacy's name clean. Singh is going to use this as a way to drop the charges against the Ortega crew and say that Tommy Egan is the suspect. Tommy Egan is the one that's responsible for Claudia's unaliving, and they're going to drop the charges because they have no evidence against Ortega. That's what I think Singh is going to do with the phone, and that's what I think Bobby's going to be suspicious of Singh. But I think it's too late at this point. We're down to 2 episodes right now. It's I think whatever happened to sing should have already happened.
Yeah.
I agree with that. 100%. So, like Retro was saying, well, it's kind of funny because that's what I thought. That's what I was saying. Like, he's not going to use the phone as far as the Egan case goes. He's going to use it to get Ortega out, and as well as because he's been trying to get dirt on Stacey, he's going to make her look dirty so that he can be into that top spot and whatnot.
Yep,
So,
he's definitely gonna use it to make her look dirty.
Oh man, this was Retro scene right here. So back at the penthouse, we got Ray and Vic, and Ray is cooking breakfast, and in the process, her phone goes off, which she thinks is more from the DNC, and she gets the news that Stacey Marks has been unalive. And in the process of telling Vic that, Vic immediately thinks that they're going to think that he has something to do with it since he was Stacey CI. And he's saying that, you know, that at this point, like, I got to get out of here. And beholds to me, which was surprising to me, that Ray says that she's going to hold him down and she can say that you with me, I can be your alibi, that you had nothing to do with Stacey being unalive, that you were with me the entire time. And Vic is like, you would do that for me? And she's like, yeah, of course, I love you. Which I'm just like, I'm trying to, I mean, I guess it could happen, but I'm just confused at like how quick she went from being this DNC, you know, working for Donna with the DNC, into now where she's like, oh yeah, she doesn't want to work for the DNC anymore. She knows Vic passed. She don't care about his past. Now all the things she is concerned about is writing her book, and I guess running away with Vic with all this money. I'm just trying to figure out like how she just do a 180 so quick,
right,
with Vic, especially after she saw Claudia, found out about, you know, all of his about his past.
I think she's gonna set Vic up personally. I think that Vic will be set up for that, and I think he's gonna be set up for Stacey's unaliving, and he gonna go down for it.
But my question is, what would she gain from playing him though? Like,
I don't think it's necessarily gonna be her, but I think her days might be numbered. She might get situated too.
Yeah, I kind of see that. I can kind of see that. Yeah, her getting situated.
I think she's gonna be situated, but I think I definitely think that Vic is probably likely going to go down for Stacey's unaliving.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think that.
I don't think so. Why is she still here?
Yeah, we were just speaking on that.
She should be gone. I don't trust her. I don't trust this. Something fishy about this. Something fishy. This ain't right.
Yeah, we was just speaking on that as to why she was still there. Like I was saying, I just didn't understand how she went from being working for the DNC with Donna, and then now all of a sudden, she is like 100% in with Vic. Yeah, a ride or die, and she's just like, I don't care. She wants to write her book
and quit her job with no notice.
Yeah,
provide alibis.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. What I didn't understand, as I asked in the group chat, what if they knew that Vic did not have anything to do with Stacey's unaliving? Him coming in is going to be what benefit to you?
Because, so in this scene, when they call him, they tell him to come in for two things. For one, because they fear that now, since Stacey is unalive, Tommy is going to take him out next. So that's why they tell him to come in. And then I think also they tell him to come in is because they kind of want to use Vic again to somehow set up Tommy. Because right here in the same scene, when Vic is like, you know, I had nothing to do with it, and he says, you know, I know you had nothing to do with it, and they tell him to come in, and he's like, no, I'm not coming in. Like, you know, and Bobby says, you know, Tommy's a lone wolf. He was like, no, I'm not coming in. But then Sang says, let us protect you. And then he says, okay, sure. And then he hangs up the phone. But
I
they
see
knew.
where Juggernaut is going with this, but I don't think that pinning Stacy's unaliving on Vic is going to go well with Bobby. He knows that Tommy did this.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll be able to even do that.
No,
I don't think they're gonna be the ones to do it though.
It don't serve no purpose.
Yeah,
it don't serve no purpose. I got a thought on that. We'll talk about that when we get.
I don't think it's gonna be them that's gonna do it though. I think Tommy gonna do it just the same way as he did the other one, the other penning and framing somebody else. I think he gonna get Vic with that one.
that's a long stretch. I have to see more to see that. But yeah, Retro in that same scene. That's why when they said, because you asked me about that later scene, right there in that scene is where he says, like, they know he's not going to come in willingly. So that's why Bobby puts out a bolo for him and saying, contacts the team and says, like, you know, I'll contact the team to make sure so they can keep a lookout just so they can bring Vic in.
I feel like if Tommy wanted Vic's support, threatening him at this point in time is not to your advantage, Tommy. You could catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And Tommy does not know how to finesse Vic. He could finesse Vic right now, but he didn't go about it. The aggressive approach is not going to work when a person is already scared of you. So Vic gets a text from an unknown number. New number, call me. Avoiding me would be a big mistake. Victor, we know that message is from Tommy. That spooks Vic, and now all of a sudden he's back to worried about Ray getting out of town. Like, you should have never brought her ass back. She in there in her panties making breakfast, like everything is all good. And like just last week, he was just on the phone with her, worried about her being somewhere safe. And now it's safe enough for her to bring her ass back to the penthouse.
Come on back over here.
Again, continuity in post-production. Now, it is very evident that these two episodes were written and directed by two different writers and directors, because there's certain points of the episode that just don't flow well from 7 to 8.
Yeah,
Ray should not be here in episode 8. She should be on the phone having this conversation with him, not in person. I mean, that's just stupid. Showstopper at her house, and again, she's still in her feelings about what has happened with her and Jenard, and of course, she's trying to figure out what her next move is going to be, because prior to all of this happening, she was down for the get down of getting rid of Tommy, but at the same time, she was also down for getting rid of Diamond. Her ultimate goal was to finesse Jenard and to get rid of Tommy, getting rid of Diamond, and they running CBI. Ultimately, her running CBI. When Raheem comes in with an update for Shanti, he pretty much told Shanti that, look, he down with her, he want to ride with her, he don't want her to be in CBI anymore, or whatever the case may be. And he reveals to her that he told her before that he bet on black, and that he had a bag of money for her. And this, go ahead, I don't know who go hit it first, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it first. Flipping sneakers.
I mean, it's kind of lucrative depending on what shoes he get, but I don't think that's where all that money came from. Ain't no way.
Flipping sneakers.
We ain't even seen Raheem in a pair of Jordans outside a pair of dusty ass Air Force Ones, and now he a sneaker reseller. Man, come on, you don't make $500 sneakers. All right.
Flipping sneakers and other parts of business.
He did say he had other investments, though. He did say he had other investments, and that he didn't blow his money on a Lamborghini, that he put his money up, and he wanted to invest in Shanti on whatever her next move was. A part of this is because he wants to get with her.
Yep.
That's his ultimate goal. He wants to get with her. And to DeMarcus's earlier point, he is somewhat trying to usurp Jenard as well. But again, he's lost all faith and respect for Jenard. So this is the ultimate crown for him, is to not only get down with Shanti, but to take Jenard's girl from him anyway, because, you know, Jenard's a clown out here in these streets. And Shanti tells him, like, yeah, that's cool and all, whatever, but I need you in CPI right now because I need information. Is this where he tells her about Kendra being upset with Diamond them about the fentanyl?
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing.
So he already fed her a little bit of information that she's going to use to her advantage or try to use to her advantage later on and whatever. And she pretty much sends him back out to stay in CBI until they're ready to make a move. What's going to happen here?
I think if they don't hook up, then he's definitely going to be her number 2, because like I said, like you've been saying, he lost all respect for Jenard during last season when Jenard was getting high and doing all of that other stuff. So and we saw earlier this season in an earlier episode, she asked him, like, who you riding with? So after he sees that he finds out that Jenard is back getting high again, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm rolling with Shanti. As well as we know he has other ideas and stuff, that, you know, other plans as far as linking with Shanti being business partners, some other things that he wants to do. But ultimately, I think it's just going to turn into where, like, you know, he's going to be her number 2. And I can possibly see them later on down the line, them linking up and starting to become a fake power couple or whatever. So
I think they go dirt napping.
Survives. That's if he survives.
That's what I was saying. I think he's gonna be situated.
I think he could be situated too. I think he could be collateral damage. She is playing him like a fiddle. I don't feel like she feels the same way about him as he feels about her. It just comes across as that look that she gave him. It kind of like it kind of made me realize that she know that he's into her, and she's going to use that to her advantage to get everything she can out of him. Now she don't got money out of him, and she ain't even really gave him the box yet. So like I feel like she's playing him too. Because remember, we always said that we felt like she was playing Jenard. We didn't feel like her love or her interest in Jenard was genuine. It wasn't until last week that we realized that she really did genuinely have interest in Jenard. I feel the same way regarding her interactions with Raheem. I don't think that she wants to lay down with him. I don't think that she's attracted to him, but I think she will flirt with him and use that to her advantage. And as I mentioned in the group chat, what they're doing with this character is very reminiscent to Jukebox. They've made her the Jukebox force. You know, she's the tough chick. She's guiding all the men. She's the brains of the operation or whatever. My question is her fate the same as Jukebox? I mean, even they have her hair braided just like how Jukebox was braided. So it made me think that, okay, are they trying to make her the parody of Jukebox in this season? Why Tommy would be going back to the house is unbeknownst to me. And the fact that all of these alphabet boys are out front of Tommy's place.
Ain't nobody seeing his car.
And ain't nobody see Tommy. Why are you still driving this Mustang, bro?
I don't even understand how they didn't hear it.
Exactly.
Right.
Y'all should have heard
Didn't
it.
hear it, didn't see it, did nothing.
Y'all should have heard it coming up the street.
Like as loud as that car is, I don't know how they didn't even hear it. Like nobody just decided. Like he wasn't even that far. Like he was probably maybe 50, 100
He
feet.
literally rolled past them.
Yeah, he was maybe 100 feet.
He literally rolled past them. And they didn't see him. So Tommy realizes now that he can't go back home because the alphabet boys are staked out in front of his place, and he was like, damn, the cops out in front of my place, or whatever the case may be. And he peels out again. Who did he get the call from here?
JP.
Yeah.
JP. Yep. So again, my question to everyone, and anybody in the chat is welcome to answer it as well. I didn't realize that law enforcement knew that Tommy and JP were related.
Still don't.
So again, bad plot device. We needed this to happen, but they didn't make the connection for us as the audience to understand at what point did law enforcement realize that they were related. But Tommy gets over to JP's place, Miriam's house, and realizes that police have came through apparently with a search warrant and ransacked the place.
Yep.
And they've had JP handcuffed for over an hour, I guess, questioning him. I'm assuming about Tommy. And Tommy, again, doesn't come clean with his brother and tells his brother what he has done, what he's got himself into. He just kind of, nonchalantly plays it off or whatever the case may be. Shortly thereafter, D-Mac comes in, and this whole scene right here annoyed me. Because even though JP has accepted the fact that D-Mac is going to be a YN and want to run the streets, the fact that your brother is sitting here handing him bricks and telling him to go sell this work in front of you, and y'all having a whole conversation full of excitement about him going out here
ridiculous
his work, and JP not bothered by that, you're not a real parent.
Nah, I think JP was bothered by it. I think it showed in his face when they were having the whole conversation. But I also think at the same time,
his face, because that's what made me think that. I was like, damn, I would have been a little bit bothered by that. Like, yo, can y'all do this somewhere else, not in front of me?
Yeah, I think he was, but then I think at the same time he realized that, like how he realized the last episode, like it's gonna happen regardless. Like no matter what, it was gonna happen, and the fact that at least he's still looking out for D-Mac and keeping D-Mac close is what he told Tommy to do. And Tommy's like, he's out of CBI, but he's still with me. I'm still gonna keep him close because it's better to do it with me rather than some stranger out here on the street. And no, JP father is not still alive.
I don't know about that because we talked about that too. I agree with you, Retro. Raheem is expendable or exposable. I don't know if they made it clear that the father had passed on.
I could have swore they did.
I know that they
said
did.
They did because that's how he. I believe that's how he inherited the club.
No. The club was him and his boyfriend or his husband or ex-husband or whatever. Remember, he said they were going through a divorce or whatever the case may be. And remember, they had the club. JP was running the club even when we met the father. Remember, they were talking about Kate. Mm-hmm. The father was sick because remember, JP was running the club and trying to make some money to pay for his father's medical bills. So his father had, I'm assuming, some type of terminal illness.
Yeah,
maybe cancer or something like that. But I don't know if they ever made it clear to us that the father had passed on. I don't think that they've ever referred to the father anymore outside the episode where we met him. I just don't remember it.
Almost. I can't remember. I can't
remember either.
2 is when they revealed.
Because remember, they were having a whole conversation about Kate, and remember that's when JP introduced Tommy to his father and whatever, and they were having a little tender moment at the house or whatever the case may be. Outside of that episode, I don't think that they ever showed JP's father no more or reference JP's father anymore. So we'll go back.
Well, I know the character, if I'm not mistaken, I think the character who played his father passed away in real life.
Yeah, I think the character. Yes, I think that's what we're getting confused with. I think the character played his father has passed away. Yes,
but I thought Herman, because that was the character's name. I could have swore that they said that in season 2, I feel like JP kind of.
So there were 2 clubs. So let's talk. We're talking about the first club. The first club was the family business, and that JP was trying to keep afloat. The one that D-Mac was spraying up and robbing and whatever. That club, I think, burned down. I think D-Mac burnt the club down. Tommy did buy him another club. JP gave that club back to him at the end of season 2 because of the events that happened with D-Mac getting pow by Jenard. We'll get into a little bit more of those details as on. But again, goes back to my earlier point about continuity. They are not doing a good job in that respect of keeping things relevant that they introduced to us in earlier seasons. So Tommy tells D-Mac here that he can be his number 2, and that he and Marshall get out here and get this work done, that they need to flip this work in 24 hours to re-up with Che. And D-Mac is happy as a lark, and he runs off and said, "Words, say less." And at what? I'm sorry. Is it even clear how old D-Mac is at this point? Isn't he like 16, 17 or something like that? He's young.
Nah, he's like well over that. I think he's like 19, 20.
I don't know about no 19, 20 because they still refer to him about high school.
I think he's like 18 because she mentioned there's some in another scene. He tested for he took a test for college.
The SAT.
Yeah.
I thought that he was still in high school.
I
He dropped out.
I mean, could be, but I definitely know he ain't 16. I think I'm kind of thinking with M2 saying like he at least 18, like 18, 19.
He's like 18, yeah.
I'll take 18. I'll take 18. All right. So I don't even remember the rest of this scene at this point because I was so stuck on this dynamic right here, and I was like, Tommy, you're moving a little bit sloppy. Because first of all, again, going back to the same thing I said about him not preparing Mireya, he's also not preparing his brother. Your brother is not in the life. So to me, you should be having some real talk with your brother and say, "Hey, bro, I need you to get out of town. I need you to go down to New York and hang out with Kate for a little while. I need you to get out of Chicago for a little while. It's hot out here in these streets right now. I don't got kicked out of CBI." Because even JP was like, "Well, who's going to look after D-Mac now that you're out of CBI?" And he's like, "Well, D-Mac's out of CBI too. We're going to run the streets and do our own thing." I feel like that conversation should have went just a little bit further, and he tell JP that, "Hey, you might need to lay low for a minute too, because the block is hot right now." He also tells JP about what happened with Diamond kicking him out and how he defended D-Mac, and D-Mac was bragging to JP about how Uncle Tommy threw hands with Diamond. I like how they made Tommy say, "Well, I did what I could."
Yeah.
he said, "I did what I could." What he should have said was, "I did what I could with that big bastard." But I did what I could. What's your thoughts on this, Fresh? M2.
Only thing, well, for one, to piggyback off of you, yeah, he should have, but at the same time, like I said, he's thinking JP is just a civilian. So it's like he never thought in a million years, like Diamond or whoever would.
But you got enemies, bro.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, not that many people know that JP is his brother. So he's looking at it from like JP is a civilian at this point. Two, the only thing that I wish that they didn't, if they didn't write, was him telling him not to go after Jenard, because at that point the writing was on the wall. Like I just wish like they didn't put that in there, because he literally told him like, I handle, they tried to unalive D-Mac, I handle all of this stuff, and he literally told JP, he said, "I see that look in your eye, whatever he was like, stay here, don't go after Jenard." And I wish they because at that point, once that was written in, it was like everybody knows now. Like even if you're not an avid watcher, like, oh, he gonna go after him, and then something's gonna happen. That's the only thing I wish they didn't write in that scene right there.
I agree with that,
because I knew right there he was gonna go after him, or he was gonna roll up on him. I didn't know he was gonna go to the extent that he did.
Yeah, because he told him once again that there was a Jenard and Diamond had set up D-Mac, and that kind of pissed JP off.
Yep. So that's the only thing I wish in that whole scene that wasn't written. So, okay, so maybe someone can answer this question for me. I know they are still part of the coalition. I know the RDs are still a part of the coalition. My only question is why did they send Grayskull
and
in
JoJo
in there, and JoJo to meet with Jenard? Like that's the part that I like, because they still
they're their leaders. They're the acting leaders of the RDs while King Kilo is locked up. And remember, they got a hard on with Jenard anyway because of the situation that happened with Lil K.
Yeah.
So I took that as that was the only representative for Jenard to meet with the RDs was them, because they were kind of like, running the gang while King Kilo is locked up. So Grayskull is he ain't seen it for Jenard. He hadn't forgot about Jenard's missteps last season with Lil K and the whole situation with Tommy. He has no love for Jenard at all, and he makes it very clear. JoJo, he kind of flip-floppy a little bit, he don't really see it for Jenard either. And then the other guy that I'm assuming that Raheem was part of the RDs as well.
Raheem is with Raheem was always Jenard's right hand man. So when he comes in and say like, nah, he good, that's when Jenard says like, see, this man right here been down since day one. He been my right hand. He always been loyal. So he was always with I forgot the name of Jenard's crew last season.
Treason.
Yeah, he was always with Treason. So that right there, like when he said that, and that's why that other guy agreed, like, hey, if the bosses can put aside, like whatever the boss say, like, hey, I'm good with it. Like, he made his mistakes, but all bosses learn from their mistakes. So he kind of looked out for him because he knew right then and there, like if they lost the RDs, like it was going to be, it was just tension between them. But I was just asking that question because when we saw them, what was that, episode 3, episode 4, when they were meeting with all the coalitions, we didn't see Grayskull and RDs.
Yeah, going back, there's a lot of continuity issues in this episode. That's why I said earlier, I don't think that the writers from previous episodes
are the same.
Looked at the script from previous episodes because they didn't keep everything the same. Yes, we should have seen this before this episode that Grayskull still had an issue with Jenard. I agree with you, C Fluid. Jenard, JP did interject himself into this situation. I also agree with you, Dexter. Tommy should have told JP what Jenard and Diamond did. That would have better prepared his brother for what was going on, and maybe JP wouldn't have interjected himself into the situation. I don't know why JP thought that it was safe for him to go out here and interject himself into the situation or whatever.
Nah.
Go ahead first.
No, I was about to say, I think what Dexter is saying is Tommy he shouldn't have told him because he told JP, and that's
he shouldn't have
told JP. He shouldn't have told him, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking he's saying, which I agree with. He shouldn't have told him because I think if he would have never told him, he would have never rolled up on Jenard.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So, Jenard is sitting here thanking Raheem, yo, bro, I appreciate you have my back or whatever. And Raheem, being fake and phony, he was like, yeah, I got your back, bro. I got your back. Yeah, no, you don't. And why would he turn around and hit his inhaler? Like it was his asthma medicine or something he was taking. He literally turned around.
I said the same thing right in front of him.
The man can hear.
He asked him, he was like, you still use it? Talking about, man, I'm good.
He was like, mind your business. Yeah, he was like, mind your business or something like that. He told him.
Yep.
And you could see as he's coming out of the warehouse, he's high as hell.
Yeah, because he said it again. He said, you still use it.
Yep. He said, you on that shit. And he was like, mind your fucking business. No, I'm not. And we talked about the G-Wagon last week. We didn't figure out where the G-Wagon was about. We know that it's Jenard's new car now because Shanti total his out. And all it is Claudia's G-Wagon wrapped. Or unwrapped.
Yep.
Jenard is outside when JP walks up and calls his name, and he turns around like, what you want? And Jenard whooped his ass.
He beat the shit out of him.
Yep. And told him, leave my son alone. And the only thing I didn't like about this scene right here is why did JP call himself that slur? Like, I don't think that was necessary. I get that y'all wanted to remind us, the audience, that JP is gay. there's another way y'all could have done that. Y'all should have had Jenard use that comment versus having JP say it in reference to itself. You mess with the wrong word that rhymes with maggot.
I think that's why. I think that's why they had him say it himself, because Jenard wasn't gonna say. Like I don't think they was. I don't think either. Like if we're talking in the reality of things, maybe the art, maybe the character himself. He wasn't comfortable with saying the word, but he actually said it himself. I think basically to keep him from actually using it. That's how I took it.
Oh, I absolutely agree that he had every right to step in as D-Mac's dad. But for that, Mary, I think that Tommy should have better prepared his brother. Again, his brother is not in the life. There's a difference between defending your son and then going out here and dealing with street dudes and trying to defend your son. And knowing that your brother's out here running the streets with these folks and selling work, I think that if that was going to be the conversation that Tommy had with JP, he should have better prepared his brother for that situation. Welcome in, Jack.
What's going
on? This is a very good point right here. The continuity issues are coming from the fact that they probably had to wrap up a lot of these storylines, merge them, fast forward them, accelerate them. So a lot of it is seeming out of place because they are trying to wrap up the season as well. So that's a good.
Well, like she was saying, which I was going to say also, because I forgot about that they didn't know that the season was ended when they first started.
Yeah.
And so once they found out midway, they had to rewrite a lot of episodes.
Yep.
All
right, Jack, get on in here. What's your thoughts on the episode? All this, what we talked about. You're muted.
I think it was a pretty good episode. I've been listening in the background. With a lot of continuity issues. I had a problem with the whole cell phone thing. I said the cell phone things would be a problem, but I thought it would have been in like her pocket or something, and still, how would they not find that? I think Bobby days are numbered. I think Jenard is back to square one where he was behaving wild. Like both of the brothers are unraveling. I'm tired of Showstopper. I think Raheem is going to have something. He's going to have a minor role in whatever happens to Jenard, because he is definitely chasing that sandbox. The whole flipping shoes thing, I guess, whatever.
So Showstopper is not redeeming herself with you?
You said Showstopper has not redeemed herself?
She's not redeeming herself.
She has in a sense, but I think she's gonna go back down to her snake ways with Tommy, and like she already started with Tommy, and the same with Raheem. Raheem is trying to prove his loyalty to her. But I think she's gonna be the reason that he get caught up in some nonsense.
I do agree with you. I do think that whatever happens to Jenard, Raheem is going to be somewhat involved. Mm-hmm. And I think whatever happens to him, it's going to be because he's running behind Showstopper. So you own something there. I agree with you on that. This thing was funny as hell when Raheem went to go to try to help Jenard up. He was like, "Get off of me. You ain't do shit, but I'll get my ass whooped."
He wanted to see that. He wanted to see
get off of me.
They ran on him.
So, like, get off of me.
He wanted to see that fake get ran on him.
So
and he was like, "F you," and drive his car. Big man drive his car.
He put a whooping on him and then told him go drive the car.
Big man drive his car.
Get your ass behind the wheel of this G-Wagon.
This is why I gave it a 7, because I have to nitpick this scene. Because for one, like, granted, now he said that, yeah, you got your ass beat because you were high. However, you mean to tell me we saw him do 2 bumps of coke before they walked out of that warehouse? We all know coke is an upper. Now, granted, JP caught him off guard with the right hook, but you're talking about a man that is coked up and is also MMA trained, and you mean to tell me that he just sat there and allowed him to pound, you know what I'm saying, to get the upper hand on him, not have a coke rage or nothing? Because we saw last season when he fought Grayskull and them when he was high, and what happened? He had a whole out brawl, but with JP, he just laid back and just let it happen. That was
you know the answer to that. You know what the
plot
answer
device.
is. Yes.
But
it's trying to show the unraveling of the brother to me. That's
And it's
why.
also trying to show Jenard is just continuously losing. He's on the downward spiral. That's what they're trying to show us.
They showing that's their weakness through CBI right there.
That is CBI's weakness.
That's CBI's weakness, Jenard.
That is CBI's weakness. Well,
that's the way in.
No.
The substances they use.
The substance. There you go.
The substances they both use is going to be their weakness. That's going to be their downfall.
Yep. Agreed.
No, I don't think it was Fenty. I don't think it was Fenty because Fenty is more like a downer. Like he would be like.
That's why I don't think it was. I didn't think it was Coke either, though. To be honest,
I didn't think it was Fenty because Fenty's like a downer. So just how we saw when he used to do the heroin last season, like he would have been like.
But he's an addict, so I don't think there's one choice of drug he prefers over the other. He might smoke a little weed, he might do a little coke, he might do a little heroin, he might do a little fentanyl, he might do a little coke, he might do a little bit of everything. I don't think that it's just one choice drug that he goes to.
Okay, because I was about to say I've never seen a person in my life snort Fenty, so that's new to me.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Wait, we talking too much?
Coke and alcohol is his weakness. So back at Marshall's place, and we finally, oh my God, this is the scene that I'm going to tear apart. So D-Mac comes in and Marshall's on the game and he turns the game off, and Marshall was like, man, I was just getting ready to level up. He's like, nah, you finna level up in real life. I got these 3 bricks that we need to flip and whatever. And D-Mac shows him the work that they got to put out, and Marshall's like, I'm good.
Nah, well, at first he thought CBI had a meeting.
Yep.
He thought CBI had a meeting until he tells him like, nah, we moving this stuff for Tommy. And then
like,
he says like, I'm good.
And Mac like, what's wrong with you? He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay with CBI. Jenard about to take his number 2 spot back. Everything about to go back to normal. And Mac say, normal? Like they just tried to get me situated. What do you mean normal? He was like, they tried to get you situated.
They about to situate Jabari next. That's his name on the shot.
That's your homeboy, and that's how you feel?
Yep.
That's how you feel? Man, I wanted D-Mac to lay him out right there.
Jabari about to get laid out.
And then he goes on to tell D-Mac that, listen, I got to do what's best for me. I'm staying with CBI. I'm rocking with CBI or whatever. I got to help my mom pay her rent. So we finally find out that this is his mom's place, and he just stays there. And he's allowed D-Mac to stay there, and whatever the case may be. And D-Mac was like, bruh, your mom worked 3 jobs, and she's still struggling. She ain't been able to quit none of them. You ain't doing shit. So like, I don't see what you got going on. And he pretty much pissed Marshall off and told Marshall that, you ain't shit anyway. So like, don't use that as an excuse. Basically, he was saying, don't use that as an excuse. Talking about you trying to help your mom. You ain't making no money out here. You ain't really trapping. Mm-hmm. You in the house playing video games. What do you mean? And so Marshall got mad and put his ass out. He already had a little bag sitting by the floor. So get out.
Yeah, man. I was with you, Retro. I was hoping D-Mac put hands on him because I'm like, bro, unloyal.
Yeah.
Like, super unloyal. Like,
this is the second time you don't play me. This is the second time you don't play me.
Nah, the third.
Really, the third, yeah.
Remember back in the first season, he got into it with him outside of the club. It was almost about to unalive him then. And homie
that was behind the Indiana deal that he cut Mac out of.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I thought it was because he didn't tell them that they was going to the club.
No, Mac rolled up on him after he found out that Marshall tried to do a little side deal with them boys out in Indiana over that Dahlia, and that's what they got into the fight outside of the club. But even with that, I do feel like we're knocking on the door the third time, because remember, Mac had been trying to get back into CBI, and Marshall was just like, playing it safe. Whatever. I feel like you should have rolled with your boy the whole time. You should have went with your boy the whole time, because when he rolled up on Mac and it was like the the reason why we have this expectation for Marshall is because of the comment he made to D-Mac, like, you my homeboy, you my day one. I don't want to see nothing happen to you out here in these streets. I'm riding with you. If you're going to be a rider, ride. So I just didn't understand the flip-flop. I didn't understand why they made Marshall flip-flop, but I feel like, go ahead and put him down. If D-Mac would have put him down here in this episode, I would have been satisfied.
Because not to mention that horrible caper they pulled that got them security guards boiled.
Yeah, but that's what
that was D-Mac though. That was D-Mac.
That was D-Mac. But like D-Mac said to him, even still, I didn't understand, like, why you trying to go back to CBI? You talking about, he said to him, they almost got you situated. Nah, remember, Jenard called you soft. And the only reason why you went on that mission was because Jenard called you soft and you wanted to get back in CBI. You have been wanting to get back in CBI because remember, I think it was, matter of fact, it was either season 1 or season 2, whatever that whole side deal he had. When Jenard and them took it over, he went to D-Mac and even said to him, like, you right. CBI and them ain't loyal. He was no longer in it. Now all of a sudden you want to get back into see, and that's what I didn't understand. So that's why I was like, yeah, man, you aren't loyal. So I won't even be surprised if we don't even see Marshall after this episode, to be honest.
Nah, we need to see him get put down.
Yeah, he need to get situated.
We need to see him situated.
Yeah, we need a situation. Sure. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to end up getting situated in whatever happens next week with
Jenard,
with CBI.
Trying to protect CBI.
Yeah.
Trying to fly with the flag.
I hope he fly. Yeah. I think him trying to fly with the flag is what's going to get him up out of there. All right. So Tommy back over here at Showstopper's place or whatever. And pretty much, is this where he tells her that he got to work from Che?
Yep.
And that he got the 24 hours to move it?
Yep. Because
and
that's
then is this where she tells? No, this ain't where she knows yet about the. This ain't where they know yet about Kendra.
No, they don't know yet. This is where she tells him about Kendra, as well as that she also has an idea on, I guess, on how to move all of that product that he had that he needs to move. Because this is where she even brings out where she says that we are partners. She literally says at the time, like, so you mean that we're partners now? And then that's when she comes up with all the whole, because he says that he has, Tommy says that he has what's the guy's name? Rojas. No, this is where this is where she tells him, like, well, we can get Rojas since King Kilo not gonna mess with it. We can bring Rojas since he didn't rock with King Kilo.
And then about patching up the relationship with the Albanians. And I feel like it shouldn't be many of the Albanians left because they got put down by Vic and his crew.
Well, he says it right here. He says, I had a half a dozen men lost, and you just
had a half a dozen men lost, but yet some way he scraped up 2 of them and sent over to JP's place. He scraped up 2 of them and sent to JP's place. So Peter is hesitant about wanting to move forward with them, but again, see, this goes back to what I was saying last week. I didn't think that the Albanians were, or Ashur was a part of the coalition. Because again, last week when Tommy got the text to meet with Peter, and he got the text from Diamond at the same time about a coalition meeting, he went to go see Peter then first, not the coalition meeting. So we didn't think that the Albanians were part of the coalition or whatever. So why does Tommy have to feel like he need to go over here and beg them to stay when they weren't part of the coalition to begin with?
Right. Nah, they were, because remember when he goes to see Diamond, he told him about the situation that happened with Peter, and he says we don't want that. And then that's when Diamond agreed, was like, oh yeah, we definitely don't want that. He told him about the problem. So they was in the coalition, like they're in the coalition. I just feel like that whole text of the coalition meeting was just a whole plot device, because he had a feeling that Tommy wasn't going to show up per se, or like that's why he said in 15 minutes or whatnot. But yeah, they was in the coalition, because that's why when he told Diamond the situation that was going on with Peter, he was like, oh yeah, nah, we don't need that right now.
Shanti goes in and runs down her resume about how working with their new coalition is going to benefit the Albanians, Peter and the Albanians, and how she has great organizational skills and how she has an infrastructure and a network that is going to flow seamlessly. And they shake hands and they decide to do business together. And I'm like, okay, Shanti is, on her jukebox. She's got leadership skills and how she can finesse any situation to her advantage. I agree with Mary. I do not trust this. I feel like all we're seeing here is Shanti building her own network. And this may
especially with those clubs.
And this may end up being what happens because we know that Tommy is not going to stay. So maybe this is setting the groundwork for Shanti to be the last man standing. We don't know.
Now you see what I was talking about earlier.
I see it.
Yeah, I see the vision. Yeah.
I see it. I see the vision. We back at the house, and here we are with Mireya and her handy dandy first aid kit.
Patching up knuckles.
Man, if you don't go get you some ice, a bag of green beans, or a steak or something out the freezer, and man, whatever. Just like in our prediction, Fresh called it, where they revealed here also that she was with child, and they have a tender family moment. And we know we learn here that D-Mac, out of concern for his father having gone and jumped on JP, called Tommy and Mireya for them to come over and see about JP. Again, this was an opportunity for Tommy to realize that, okay, I need to do something about JP because he mixing himself in this business and he shouldn't fall. Like, bro, you need to stay out of this. Like, let me handle all this or whatever the case may be. But this scene was a little awkward with Tommy too. I didn't think I felt Tommy should have been a little bit more interactive with JP here. I don't know. Maybe it's just how they wrote it because this was the last scene that they were going to be in together. But I expected Tommy to be a little bit more upset about the whole situation between Jenard and JP.
I can kind of see where you're going. I can kind of see where you're going at, but at the same time,
upset but concerned. I expected him to be more concerned because he even went as far as to say, "Well, I'll put 2 men on the door for you," or whatever the case may be. If you felt like there was going to be retaliation, why you just didn't move him? Why you just didn't get him out of the house? Period.
Yeah, right. Now that you say that, yeah, I didn't even think about it from that aspect now until you just said that just now. So yeah, right then and there,
he is grown, but we also know that how Tommy feels about his family.
Yeah,
his need to protect them.
Yeah.
And we know that JP is not a street dude. He can't necessarily protect himself in the manner of which all Tommy has gotten him wrapped up in. So I was a little bit worried about JP here. I had already said that JP was gone in this episode anyway.
Yeah,
so
we had said that last week. Yeah,
we've been calling it all season that JP was gone. Yep. So this is where my concern level for JP started to elevate, especially when they revealed that they were going to be one big happy family, and I was like, yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Is this where Mac in his Billionaire Boys t-shirt tell them that he gave up the little bit of money that he was able to make?
Yeah. So in that scene, that's where Mireya once again reiterates that Tommy needs to team up with Miguel.
Yep.
And then that's when D-Mac says, nah, he already got a partner. It is me. And then that's when Tommy reveals, like, yeah, I already got another partner, Shanti Showstopper. And then, of course, he also tries to get the work from D-Mac. And D-Mac only gives a little bit of money and said, that's all that you and Marshall, that's all y'all made. And he was like, yeah, man, Marshall's out. And that's when he gets that text from Izzy that's saying, meet me at 10:30.
And that is a good point. JP did not want the security. He did not want the security where you should at least put a strap in his hand or something and say, hey, bro, you need to be on high alert. I mean, you just jumped on Jenard. Like, bro, you have to be careful out here in these streets. Like, something. This one right here, what is he up to? His slippery, sneaky ass. Chain come in, and threatens him yet again. This time he threatens his wife.
He sure did. He sure did.
He had threatened him last week that if you don't do something about this, you're going to be deleted. Today he comes in and Sing is like, how did you get in here? He's like, don't worry about all that.
I was thinking the same thing though.
He was like, don't worry about all that. He was like, why you ain't did what you was told to do? He was like, I'm the new U.S. attorney. He's like, I don't care about any of that. Why is our employer still behind bars? He's like, I'm releasing them tomorrow. So that right there told me that he had already hatched his plan and used that as a way to drop the charges against the Ortegas and pin some dirty on Stacy's name. And Shane reminds him that not only does your life depend on it, but your wife depends on it as well. Think about it.
Told that man, your wife got home early from work.
And he's scared. Okay, this is what I was going to ask. This is what I wanted to ask for this scene right here. What is going to happen to Sing? With only 2 episodes left, what do we think is going to end up happening to Sing? Is he going to get out alive? Is he going to get caught? Is he going?
I think to what Jack was saying. Jack said he feels that Bobby's going to get situated. I think Bobby is going to be the one to arrest him.
To be honest,
because I really see him, as you're saying, as you predicted, he's going to make it seem as though there was some kind of loophole or something Stacy messed up to make her look bad, where he can get them out of jail.
For once, I think we're going to have a dirty prosecutor that's actually going to get away with it.
Yeah, because the reason why I feel like he's going to get away with it is because now that he has that phone, all he's going to do is use that phone, the one to get Ortega out of jail.
Is leverage.
Used it to put dirt on Stacy's name, and then he could easily say that Bobby was complicit and knew exactly what Stacy was doing.
Because he got the phone from Bobby.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. The only thing that I could say that would happen to them is that lady, detective, or whatever. Delgado. She might have something to do with it. If he gets caught. I don't know. I just don't see.
Because to me, I don't think he even cares about Tommy. I think he's probably just going to let Ortega handle Tommy, and he's just going to be worried about being the AUSA.
Yeah, I don't see no point of getting him situated at this point. If Stacy would have still been alive and running for mayor, then I would have wanted him to get caught. But now that Stacy's gone, we really don't care anymore. We really don't care about Sing anymore. Jenard. Jenard needs Mireya's first aid kit. At the basement barbershop, and Diamond's like, man, you out here getting your ass whooped, that's not a good look. And he was like, man, ain't nobody saw it but Raheem, or whatever the case may be. And is it this where, you see what happening right here again, every scene Diamond pouring a drink. Is this where Jenard finally comes clean with Diamond about
but he don't go into the whole spiel.
But he basically lets them know that they're at odds.
Yeah, that they're at odds. And then that's when Diamond says to him, now more than likely she's gonna go to Tommy. And he's like, nah, she wouldn't do that or whatever. And then in comes Kendra, and then she even says that she's riding with Tommy Shanti, and he's like, my point exactly. See, exactly. This is exactly what I knew that was going to happen.
She earned her own death here, though. She should have she shouldn't even showed up.
She shouldn't have said nothing.
She shouldn't have said nothing. She shouldn't even came, because she came in picking on Jenard about, damn, did Showstopper do that to you? And he was like, Ish, what you say? And then she was like, listen. And then Diamond get ready to go say something to her. And then we knew that last week she was bothered by how Diamond had spoke to her. And pretty much he got aggressive with her and somewhat threatened her last week. And she told Diamond here that she was tired of him abusing her or threatening her or disrespecting her, is what she said.
Mhm.
And that she was no longer going to work with him, that she was going to work with Showstopper and Tommy. And peace out.
I have a question though that maybe somebody can
But
answer.
this right here was a very telling scene right here too. When he pointed the strap at Jenard, I thought he was going to let one ring out real quick at Jenard. He pointed at him and then he blasted through the wall and got Showstopper. That was some good marksmanship shooting right there, Diamond. And you in the drink. Go ahead, Fresh, because you probably got the same question I have.
Oh, my question was, when did Kendra become this big queen pin? Because everybody kept talking about her territory, and I was like, well, when did she become, like, I know she was helping them move in the prison.
Yeah, she was with Kilo though, wasn't she?
No, she was doing it for Diamond.
Yeah, she was doing it for Diamond, but it was in, I can't remember the scene. I want to say it was back when Tommy and, matter of fact, yeah, it was when Tommy and Shanti were talking. They were talking about, oh, she has this territory. And I was like, well, when did she become a queen pin? Like, this is the first time we ever heard about her even having a territory and her moving a certain amount of weight.
I think it was just a strong implication that she was running product through the prison system. And they were considering that as a part of a territory, pretty much.
Okay. Gotcha.
That I don't even know if she was the one that was actually selling the work or if she was supplying it to workers in the prison to sell on behalf of them. Is what I look.
I think she was the one supplying it, if I am mistaken.
Yeah, I think she was supplying it because it seemed like they had some workers. They had some workers there in the prison that were, I guess, CBI members or whatever that was pushing the
something like that. Because you remember the episode where she was supplying the work and then she was just started looking around to see how people was moving it.
Yeah,
she was. Yeah.
Remember the girl? Remember the girl that went in the bathroom and she? Yeah. So Diamond on that drink, blasted through the wall and took out Kendra, and just like that, Kendra is gone. And just like in our debate last week, me and Fresh were going back and forth. Originally, I wanted it to be Showstopper that he was taking out. Fresh felt like it was Kendra, and he was correct that it was Kendra. And it's just business, bitch comment. I knew that it was personal. That part of the scene right there told us that it either had to be Kendra or Shanti Showstopper, that it had to be a personal attack that Diamond felt. And Jenard, again, is excited as he is to see his brother get people situated. He also is a little shocked by it because Diamond's unalivings are getting more and more elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he took out Leon's dad in the water, and every time he gets ready to situate someone in front of Jenard, Jenard is getting more and more like, this dude is crazy.
Yep.
That's foreshadowing.
Yep. Yep. He's gonna be in front of Diamond on that next.
Yep. And Diamond tell him right here, see, I told you that this situation with Showstopper and Tommy, that they was going to work together. Is this where he sends Jenard out to go try to, what is he sends Jenard away to go do something?
I can't, to be honest, I don't even remember.
I can't remember either, but he told Jenard to send somebody down there to clean up that disrespectful chick.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh no, I remember now. This is where he tells Jenard to tell King Kilo that Tommy was lying to them the entire time about the unaliving of King Kilo nephew. So go to King Kilo and tell him exactly what happened at that time, so that way the King Kilo and them, because he was getting tired of Tommy, and then that's what he tell him, like, yeah, and tell them to come down here and take and clean her up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank y'all, chat. He was sending Jenard over to King Kilo to tell yet another lie or the truth. But at this point, you don't send Jenard over there 3-4 different times with a different story. Did you really think that King Kilo was going to believe anything that came out of Jenard's mouth? That man have been over there 17 times. I told a different story every time he went over there. Like King Kilo ain't got nothing to hear from Jenard. Oh man, poor Mireya. Shout out to Adrian Albano. He is the actor that plays the character Titus. We do have an upcoming interview with him on the channel. So hopefully we'll get that scheduled real soon. Probably after the holidays, we will be sitting down to talk to the worst hitman ever. And if you're in the chat, Adrian, you know it's all love, bro, but you are the worst hitman ever. So we will be sitting down and talking with his character. Me and him have been going back and forth on Instagram the last few days, cutting up about this. So at Mireya's job, she's pulling up, and Titus shows up and demands at gunpoint her keys. I even asked him in the DM, I said, what were you going to do with the keys? He said, unalive her with them. I was like, I don't understand why that they wrote that, where he would be like, give me your keys now.
No, I think the whole
in her purse to pull the keys out. I said, oh yeah, she finna pull the strap out.
I think the whole reasoning behind him asking for the keys is so if she ran, she couldn't go to the car.
Good point. You would know best, huh? Isn't that right, Jack? He would know best, wouldn't he?
Nah, I didn't think that.
No, she couldn't. But you know what I'm saying? If she ran, she couldn't go to the car. Now, I mean, in the hitman hindsight of things, when he saw her, he should have just situated her.
Exactly. It shouldn't have been a conversation, and it shouldn't have been any of that. Like, you should just went on ahead and just situated her. Like, you're a hitman, especially for a cartel. It shouldn't even have been no, like I said, no type of conversation, no type of talking, nothing. As soon as you saw her, pal, take her out. But I think he asked, and this is something that it clicked in my mind later on, I think he asked her for the keys was because ultimately, like, although I think he was going to unalive her, he was also going to take her. Like, he was like, give me your keys. It probably was going to make her at gunpoint get in the trunk or something.
I thought about that too.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Because that would be the only reason why he would ask for them keys. But like, I mean, M2, like you said, that could have been so that she couldn't run. But I kind of felt like he was, because since he didn't unalive or try to unalive her right then and there, and the first thing he asked for was the keys, I was like, okay,
maybe he
probably going to tell her get in the trunk.
Like that idea anyway, because I mean, they were at a parking garage, they were at a hospital, so maybe he was going to put her in the trunk.
And then
I mean, the whole fact that she hit him in the leg anyway was horrible.
Yeah, but she was able to get in her purse.
I mean, she shot out her purse, so she wasn't really aiming.
Yeah, she wasn't really aiming at a specific area. She was just trying to back him up off of.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. Oh, somebody pick me. Maybe y'all said this, I'm sorry, I got, distracted by the little one. Somebody pick me. My head is up. I know y'all can't see it. If you're a hitter, right, how do you allow somebody go to any part of the person that is concealed?
Right.
How?
That's why we just said. That's why I just said. Before, like, with him being a hitter, the minute he saw her, she should have been out of there. No questions asked.
Or he should have approached her from behind, grabbed her from behind, chloroformed her, threw her in the back of the trunk, and that's what his intentions were. Or unalive her off from there.
Throw your purse towards me. He could have even said that instead of hand me over the keys. Come on now.
I think it was because he didn't feel like that she had anything on her.
Yeah,
because he's a civilian.
Right.
But you a hitter. You Miguel sister, and you roll with
she handed him somebody.
Throw your purse towards this way, lady.
So when
she handed him somebody.
You're right.
So I want you to say that question for Adrian. So when we talk to him, I want you to ask him that. See what he says.
Definitely asking that question.
I want you to add that to the list of questions, okay?
Why did you ask for the keys? That's all we want to know. Why did you ask? We got a few reasons why you could have asked for the keys, but we want to hear from you. Why did you ask for the keys?
I'm with Alex Keys, the worst hitman in the history of maybe any show I ever seen.
So she did hit him at this point, right?
Yeah.
She put one in him on that one.
She put one in him, and then she runs back to the car. Now he's an idiot for this. My question is, why are you standing there and you see the car approaching you? Run.
He can't run. She hit him in the leg.
Or at least letting go a couple of times, a couple to try to defend yourself.
He couldn't because he was reloading.
Yeah, he did, because remember he shot at her.
Oh,
he was
right.
And he actually hit the driver's window, which by all means, that shot should have hit her.
Yeah,
that shot should have hit her.
It definitely should have hit her, but I was trying to figure out how he ran out of bullets already.
Yeah,
because what he had was he only had 7. That's why. Again, which is why he's not a hitter.
Yeah. We knew that this was going to be Mireya's first body. We called this, and when we saw the preview for it, for the season trailer, we saw it. We said that this was Mireya taking out someone. And oddly enough, back then we thought it was her trying to save Miguel.
What up, Low Queen?
Miguel's unalive. And she runs over him, and she wanted to make sure the job was done. She went back and forth and forwards and back. Damn.
She ran all over him.
She ran all over at least 3 times. It had to be about 3 times. And just like that, Titus is gone. Tom is at the spot where he thinks that he's getting ready to meet Izzy. And how me and Fresh, and when I say argue, we didn't really argue, but we both had a different viewpoint of this particular scene here. Fresh always thought it was Vic. I always thought it was Bobby. We both were right.
Yeah. We both were right.
So Vic rolls up on Tommy right here. And this by far was the stupidest scene ever. Why they put this in the show, I have no idea. Dance, Tommy, dance.
This got a reason. This got a reason behind it.
You can explain this one then, because I thought
I know it.
I think.
Okay.
Now, of course, we went with the whole puppet thing, and he like who's pulling the strings now, all that other stuff. But I think at that point, like Vic should have situated Tommy, but because he didn't, this goes back to when Tommy always said, "I have a reason for him." So now that Vic done already pulled a gun on him and then fired some shots at his feet and made him dance. Yeah, Vic done, bro. Vic finished.
No.
How? Unless he get released out of custody.
He finished. This Chicago, he getting released. It's cashless bill.
Nah. Yeah, he not finished. Like
he done.
They need to go. Wherever Miss Beth at, they need to go with.
Yeah, he needs to go. So
he done, bro. He done.
I think the reason he did, like, I agree with you, Retro. This scene was totally unnecessary. It was corny, but I think they also wrote it in where he did that because he's been holding Vic by the strings since episode 1.
Yep.
So we talked about this. So who wants to
not,
talk about this? Because we talked about this in the group chat last night.
It's not
He done, bro.
Vic
he
did take Tommy's weapon.
It's not the same gun.
It's not the same gun though.
It's not the same.
Okay, because I thought that too.
There's matter of fact, when we was going back and forth, Retro, if you go to the scene and you see where Bobby is holding the gun in his face, look at the barrel. It's not the same. It's not the same weapon that Tommy used on Stacy in the best episode.
Bobby's holding on Tommy isn't the weapon that Vic took from him.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's the one he took from him because he picked it up off the ground. Because when Gus grabs him, he drops it, and then he picks it up off the ground. He holsters his weapon and picks it up off the ground and puts it in his face. And he said, I should have let Vic take you out, but I want to see you rot. Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same one.
So we talked about this last night, and it's still not clear to me. I guess the meeting with Izzy was supposed to have been real, but why wasn't Izzy there? So was that staged by Vic?
No. So I thought about that too. He was walking to Izzy and the porter. I guess that's because remember when Chavo got hit? That was that's their territory. They were underneath the bridge when Chavo got hit. So he was walking to go see Izzy and the Puerto Ricans, and then Vic rolls up on him, and Vic says to him, he says, "You're so predictable," because he knew that he was going to get Izzy to try to bring him over to his side to join the coalition. Because he said, "You're trying to poach somebody." He said, "You're always trying to poach somebody."
So how did Bobby and them know where Vic was?
They've been out there looking for him because they had a bolo out for him. So I think it's just convenient that they just happened to roll up on him while he was doing that, because they had been out looking for him because they had a bolo out on him. He put a bolo out on him, and then Singh alerted the task force to also keep a lookout for Vic. So they just happened to, bam, they finally found Vic. That's why when they came out, that's why they locked up Vic, because they had the bolo out on him. And on top of that, he's a CI. And then 3, he shot at Tommy. So technically, they had to arrest him.
Yep.
Well, at what point are they going to arrest Tommy Egan?
They ain't, because they ain't got nothing on them. They just got reason.
I mean, they got
ass
downtown. I can't tell you how many times they took ghost black ass in the custody, but Tommy ain't went down and answered one question at the police station.
No, I remember OG Power. He went to jail at one point.
Out of force. At what point are y'all gonna take Tommy downtown for questioning? Isn't faking your own death a crime?
Didn't fake it though.
A lot of stuff to question him about. Y'all ain't questioning about none of this.
That's because he didn't fake
Tommy
it.
tells him, "I'm gonna get you, Tommy. I'm gonna get you. You're gonna pay for what you did to Stacy." I'm like, dude, just put some cuffs on him and take him downtown.
Take him downtown.
Downtown.
You could have took him downtown just off the altercation, but he would have to let him go.
Yeah, something. Go ahead, Fresh. You were gonna say?
No, I was just saying, like, he could. That would defeat the purpose. That would mess up their case.
Yeah, well, they don't have a case right now.
Yeah, it's all circumstantial. But I was just saying, remember OG Power, at one point, Tommy did go to jail.
Only because of Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Only because of Angela. And she was trying to put him in jail. Tommy gets a call from Mireya, the damsel in distress. And I'm thinking to myself, he's like, "I'm on my way." How much time has passed? Ain't nobody else came into this parking lot. Hospital security, no witnesses, no bystanders, no cameras. She's just sitting there, parked, waiting for somebody to come and see about her. How long has passed?
I thought that too, but then I also thought about when you go to a hospital parking garages, they have multiple levels, and it depends on what time of night it is.
Maybe she worked third shift.
Yeah, I was like, if it's late and if she in like P5 or something, ain't nobody usually parked on P5.
And Buddy still laid out there, broke up.
Sitting there with the car in park. To another place. Drove to another level or something. Tommy runs up to see about her, and he tries to take her into the hospital. She's like, "Fool, we can't go in there. I work here." And he was like, "I'll take you somewhere where I know they won't ask any questions." And he was like, "But your fingerprints are all over the car." And I mean, she could have just said self-defense. I mean, it's not like she murdered him in cold blood. It truly was self-defense. But Tommy's like, "I don't know if we know anybody. I don't know if I know anybody or trust anybody enough to deal with this right now." And she again says, "Call my brother." So he calls Miguel to come take care of the mess. They're at the clinic. We get a sonic ultrasound, and the baby is fine. Okay, this is why I feel like Mireya is going to make it out with the baby. If they wanted to unalive the baby, if they wanted,
it would have happened already.
Yeah, it would have happened already, or we would have. In this scene right here, they could have set the tone for it by saying, "Oh, we see some complications with the baby. There's some on the baby, or the umbilical cord, something." They could have given us some type of medical condition to put her in distress where she could end up losing the baby. The fact that everything is fine, mommy's fine, the baby's fine, and there's 2 episodes left, it would be pointless for her to lose a baby. It would just be pointless for Mireya to lose this child when they have gone to so many lengths to keep it alive. So this is why I feel like Mireya and the baby does make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no reason to keep it. They could have lost it if they wanted, just like they did with Diana, just like they did with Diana in book 2 when the officer attacked her and kicked the baby out of her. This could have been the opportunity to get rid of the baby if they wanted to. If they wanted her to lose the child, this would have been a perfect opportunity for them to write that in where she lost the baby. But since they did it, there's only 2 episodes left. The baby is going to survive. At which point Tommy and her celebrate, and she tells Tommy that, listen, this ain't what I do. I save lives. I don't take lives. And Tommy tells her that, well, you saved 2 of them today. In comes Miguel. Tommy gives them the good news that gives Miguel the good news that Mireya and the baby are okay. And Miguel lets them know that the situation has been cleaned up. No worries. And that's
no trace, no worries.
No, yes. Nobody, no case. I'm sure he fed the body to Bertha.
Big Bertha.
Yeah, Big Bertha. Is this where Miguel also reveals? Oh yeah, because they said, yeah, but we don't know who this guy was, and Miguel tells them that I knew who he was. This was the same guy that tried to attack me last night. He's from the Marquez cartel, and he's got a hit on me. And Miguel says I should have took him out last night when I had the chance. And I don't even remember what their response to that was. I don't know what it is about Tommy and Mireya's relationship that just doesn't feel organic to me. Like the situation with him and Holly, it felt real. The situation even with him and Lakeisha felt realer than this. This right here, I don't know if it's because it's forced, but it just doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel like Tommy would just be this head over heels in love the 3rd time around. To me, it feels like Tommy would be a little bit more cautious. Tommy would be a little bit more hesitant about getting into a relationship, given the fact of what happened to Lakeisha and Holly.
Yeah.
And the fact that he doesn't never talk about the situation that happened with his previous child, you would think Tommy would be a little bit more on higher alert by this, but he's just so nonchalant about everything.
No, I think he's on high alert, but I think it's just more so like I think it's also because of who her brother is.
Okay.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. He knows her brother is in the game, so she somewhat has like an all around feel.
Yeah.
For
she got understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about Showstopper here.
Me too.
I would have loved if something happened to her right here, but I was a little bit worried about Showstopper here when that drunk ass Diamond showed up.
Diamond going off that King Kong.
I don't know what he drinking. He drinking Woodfield Reserve.
Reserve.
He had at one point he had Woodford. At one point he had some JMO.
Yep.
Yeah, a few of my favorites.
Oh, that Muscatel. That's what he did.
Muscatel, right?
Oh yeah. Not that one though.
Ripple. I don't know what the hell Diamond off on. Diamond on that drink, on that dark look. Over the Showstopper's place, and she said, "Oh, you here to take me out?" And he was like, "No, I'm here to get you back into the fold." And they said, when he got in that ring with her, I was really worried for her. I was like, "Oh my God, he finna hit her. He finna do something to her."
I did too till I saw those weights in her hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those boxing weights she had. Yeah.
She had 2 boxing weights in each hand. So I was like, if he do, she gonna hit back. So
yep. But I like Showstopper. She ain't scared though. She wasn't scared. If she was scared in this situation, she didn't show it. She played it real cool. She played it real calm, collect. And this is where Diamond reveals to her that y'all ain't gonna be moving no product through the prisons at all. Because I just took care of Kendra. And he's still extending the olive branch to Showstopper for her to get back down with CBI.
He needs that territory.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot of loyal people that's behind her, including Manny Fresh. But he need that territory. That's why he came in there hat in hand.
I think he does have respect for Showstopper though. Ultimately, I mean, and it showed through this episode because he kept telling Jenard that was the better half of him.
I think that's why he didn't do anything to her, because she was the one reason why Jenard stayed clean for so long and actually recovered from being drugged up. So that
Seafluid.
could have very well been our past.
My bad, M2. I was looking at that comment. Seafluid. Tommy did find out that Holly was pregnant. He didn't find out till too late though. Ghost told him.
No, Tasha told him.
Nah, Tasha told Ghost, and Ghost ended up telling Tommy.
I think Tasha revealed it. She inadvertently revealed it. Ghost confirmed it. She inadvertently revealed it because remember, she thought Tommy knew. She thought that Holly had told Tommy, and that's why Holly was missing. She didn't realize that Tommy had unalived Holly. So she told Tommy one day when they was smoking that she was the one who had encouraged Holly to tell Tommy that she was pregnant. That's when Tommy found out that she was pregnant because he was going out of the elevator and he tried to play it off. And then Ghost kind of later confirmed it for him. But I think Tasha was the one.
Yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
Revealed it. So Showstopper, she ain't bothered. She was like, I don't want to be bothered with you. I don't want to be bothered with Jenard. I'm good over here. She was like, and if you do something to me, she's like, I ain't Kendra. I'm a whole organization, letting us know that she's got people behind her and that she wasn't afraid of Diamond. And Diamond, she got the drop on Diamond too, because she told Diamond, look, while you over here worried about my situation, you need to be worried about your own, because your brother never stopped plotting, scheming on getting rid of you and unaliving you.
Snake move. It's smart.
But she was also telling him the truth too, though.
Yeah, but she omitted some information. Snake move, but smart.
I mean, it's not really a snake move because
Exactly.
She, when you think about it in hindsight, like Jenard been wanting to do that since like before she even got in the picture.
Because remember, him and Blackstein was going in the barbershop that day to take out Diamond, and Diamond overheard them.
Yep.
So that has always been Jenard's.
The reason I say it's a snake move because she admitted to her act and her plans in it. That's why I say it's a snake move. She put everything on Jenard like she didn't have nothing to do with it, which I think that was a move. She had everything to do with it just as much as Jenard. In fact, Jenard was kind of pulling back on even making that move a little bit. He just was a little hesitant, and even then it started to cause a little rip because she like, you still with it? He even said like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So I think it was a snake move because she had much to do with it just as he did.
She just kept the battery charged.
Yeah, she was making sure that battery stayed charged. Exactly.
For sure. For sure. I agree.
And she was like, whether you believe it or don't, I don't care. And she went back to shadow boxing. I was like, that was so dope. She was like, I don't care. She was like, whether you believe it or don't, I'm just telling you what's up. I don't care. Go ahead, Fresh.
Oh no, I was good. Yeah.
I don't know what they were eating here. Lucky Charms, some ice cream or whatever. But back at
he
the
was eating ice cream.
I think they were eating ice cream. Back at the
they was eating ice cream.
D-Mac and JP are having another moment, and JP looks down at the bags on the floor and said, I sure hope Tommy ain't got you moving that kind of much work. And he was like, nah, this is my stuff. And he was like, Pops, can I come stay here for a little while? He didn't tell JP about what happened with him and Marshall, whatever, that why he needed a place to stay. And of course, JP is excited that his son wants to come home. He was like, yes, this will always be your home. Yes, you can come back. And they have yet another moment where they embrace, and this the last conversation, last meal, last embrace.
Yeah, I knew that was the writing on the wall right there. Once I saw that.
Yep. I was gonna say that I think that is too, and I think with them making sure like they had some moments within this episode, like you said, CG, I think this is what's gonna make D-Mac a certified crash out in the next couple episodes.
He might crash out, but I think Tommy's gonna make him do it strategically.
I think well, I got some thoughts. We'll get back to that. Did y'all feel like here this was going to be the end for JP?
When? Which one? You talking about when they was hugging?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that
Yeah.
immediately. Yeah,
Right
I
here.
knew that immediately.
Confirmed for you that this was going to be the end for JP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, they confirmed it for me when he hugged D Mac at Marshall's crib. I was like, yeah, he gone.
Yep. Okay. One of y'all gonna have to take this one because I don't even know what the conversation was. I hardly pay attention when Mireya's around.
This is the same thing again where she tells Miguel that they need to team up. That her and Tommy need to team up. Like, you know, y'all got the whole cartel after y'all now. Y'all both on the same side. Y'all got the same enemies, and that y'all need to team up. And that's when they start to go back and forth about the product and moving that money. I mean, that money as well as that product that they have to give. I mean, more so the money that they have to give to Che for that re-up because he needs that money. And that's where Tommy comes to Miguel and asks him, you know, that money that he put up for Cruz to get Cruz out. And he's like, you know, I ain't got that kind of money. You've been trying to destroy my business this entire time, you know, ever since you got the meeting with Che. And then that's when Shanti, she ends up bringing out all the money. And it's like, nah, we good. Like, we got it right here. So all of that's fussing that y'all doing, it's all good. Now we partners and we gonna get this work and we gonna keep it moving. Yeah, so this scene right here is where we was gonna have M2 explain to us why King Kilo was out there at the little beach in Chicago with his feet out. And we were trying to be a retro, was trying to figure this whole thing out. Like, why was he?
That was a welcome home party, man.
Okay. We was trying to figure, we was like, because we know y'all don't really got, we know y'all, I know that one beach that y'all got that's like, ain't it like downtown somewhere like that?
It's a few of them. It's 55th. There's a beach on the Gold Coast. So it's quite a few of them where you can go and kind of kick out and, you know, kick back and chill. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we was confused because we was like, people got on hoodies, people got on jackets. So is it hot? Is the water cold? Is the water not cold? Because like,
man, these fools listen, it's hoodies on in the summertime around here.
okay.
Just being honest.
Okay, so that answers our question. So yeah, me and Russia, we was completely lost. That's why we was like, we would ask you about that scene.
It's hoodies on in the summertime around here, man.
Since you were
I think Big Baby was just happy to be out, man. This might be one of those situations.
This was but you know it was a welcome home celebration because he said I'm out here with my family. Somebody actually had a grill on the beach, which as big as that grill is, bruh, you need a peddler's license to do that.
He probably ain't seen a grill or a beach in who knows how long. So once he got out there, he was just like, I need this sand in my toes. You know what I'm saying? He probably is like how
Rainbow Beach. There you go, Nick. That's one of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Going back to the last scene real quick before we get back on this with Big Baby. Also, Shanti pretty much told Miguel and Tommy that, look, my money, my soldiers, my territory, this y'all war with Marquez cartel, I want to be the one to give it to Che. But did she forget that the Marquez cartel were after her ass too? At the beginning of the season, when they tried to put Claudia down in prison, she act like, you know, she ain't got no beef with this situation. Yes, you do. But she also shows them the money and tells them that she needs to be the one to deliver it to Che. I think that is either going to be her level up or her undoing. That's just me foreshadowing. That's going to be one of two things, the end result. Because we know that Che don't like meeting new people. Yep. But that's either going to level her up or that's going to be to her detriment.
Yep.
Poor Jenard. Jenard just get yoked up and thrown around. Big Baby, who is a huge dude. I mean, this dude got to be about 6'9". He's taller than you, Marvin. And I didn't think anyone else on the planet was taller than you.
Yeah,
he got to be beat, bro. That dude got to be almost 7 feet.
Nah,
he at least 6'10", bro.
He was a power forward.
He got to be about 6'10".
He at least 6'10", bro.
I didn't think anybody had you. I didn't think anyone on the planet was taller than you.
I'm only 6'5" though.
Yeah, okay, 6'7".
That's nothing. No, I have little cousins that's taller than me.
Again, Jenard over here lying, scheming and lying, and says, wait a minute, because Big Baby was like, you know what? I'm tired of you. He was like, and I was tired for him. I was like, man, how many times you
Shoot him.
Shoot him, please, just shoot him. He yoked him up and threw him to the ground, and he told JoJo, you know what? I'll settle for you or whatever, because he told Big Baby, King Kilo. He tells King Kilo that Tommy is D-Mac's uncle, and Tommy's been protected and lying for him. And he's like, he's alive? You're telling me he's alive? It throws him to the ground. And I'm like, Jenard, know he can beg his way out of a situation, just like a true crackhead.
He threw that man to the ground like he was a Snickers wrapper.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna stomp on him, step on him. That would have been fit. If he would have just kicked him one good time, I would have been it. So Jenard declares that he knows where D-Mac is at, and we talked about this off camera. We talked about this in the group chat, why they didn't go to Marshall's place first. We're just going to say process of elimination, that they had went to Marshall's place. Marshall told them that he kicked them out, and we're going to help you out, writers. Marshall probably told them that he wasn't there, and that's when they went over to JP's place. They get to JP's place. JP is in the only room in the house that I guess is inhabitable, which is the kitchen, washing dishes. And he hears the gunshots outside. I don't know why he didn't reach for a strap. He should have had a strap in that dishwater with him or something. He should have been on high alert. If Tommy got security outside your door, you should be strapped up on the inside as well. Wow. So when he heard the Albanians get taken out, JP should have been reaching for a strap. Although he really didn't have time to get ready because they bust through the door as soon as the gunshots rang out. And at gunpoint, they are questioning him about where their son is at. These two dummies, crash dummies, take his phone, use his Face ID to unlock his phone, and couldn't figure out how to dial D-Mac's telephone. What were they going to tell him when they got him on the phone is what I want to know.
The same thing like they told Tommy.
The same thing they told Tommy. But they probably was going to tell D-Mac he need to get that now.
Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to save your father's life, you need to come and
you need to come now. Yep.
Okay, it's some good theories in the chat right now about what could possibly happen to Jenard. We'll say those for a little bit anyway. JP, he didn't go out like no punk. He was like, listen, you think I'm finna tell you? He was like, I'd rather be unalive before I tell you where my son at. And they start smacking him around and yoke him up or whatever the case may be. And they snatch his phone up and they try to call D-Mac, but they couldn't find his number. Meanwhile,
yeah, because his name wasn't in the phone as D-Mac. It was in the phone as Darnell.
Darnell. Yep, it was in the phone as Darnell. Meanwhile, back at Showstopper's place, Miguel and Tommy have arrived, and they're sitting here talking about the whole meeting with Che and the whole situation with the money. They arguing back and forth about how they gonna do this re-up. Shanti shows them the money and all that, and she reiterates to them that she needs to be the one to deliver it to Che, and that that's when Tommy gets the call from King Kilo. Looked like JP was trying to get some work done on the house. I was looking through the call log. He called the HVAC people. I don't know what he called the school system for, because D-Mac ain't been in school for about 3 years, but I was just looking at his call log. He called.
Maybe he called the school. Maybe that call with the school has something to do with the test scores.
Maybe he was calling about them SAT scores. That's a good point. Because I see he called 2 heating and air people, so I guess they ain't got no heat on at the house over there. But it was just neat to see what it was. He had called Kate. I see Kate's in the call log. And then, of course, they recognized Tommy's number and they called Tommy up. And then they start threatening Tommy, pretty much telling him a nephew for a nephew. Since your nephew took out my nephew, if you bring me D-Mac, then I will let you have your brother. Tommy tells King Kilo that if you hurt my brother, I will unalive you. And I was like, it's a little too late for that. Meanwhile, between time, this scene right here overacted. We talk about this in the group chat all the time about Big Baby and his performance. Tommy, bring me your nephew now, or I'm going to. I don't know what it is about the actor.
It is horrible. Bring
It
me your
is
nephew.
terrible, bro.
Now.
Oh my god! Bring me him now, Tommy.
The mannerisms.
That dude has the most simplified script ever, and they was like, just read it like
lines.
facial
He had the
expression.
most simplest lines, and he tried to overact. Yes, the simplest lines.
I don't
read
believe
this
you.
like you mad, huh?
Whatever. I don't believe you.
His acting is horrible, atrocious, atrocious,
Really bad.
And so, at this point, JP announces to Tommy on the phone, "You go find my son. You take care of him." And that he also lets it be known that Jenard is in the room. He was like, "Jenard, all this because I whoop your ass." And that's he was like, "Won't you be a man and situate me yourself?" And Jenard popped him off.
Which
and I'm ready to mask up with Tommy, and we finna go ride on Jenard. We finna.
Which that was very essential of what he did. That scene right there for him to mention, like, "Oh, you just mad because I whooped your ass, Jenard," just so Tommy can hear that.
I think that, but I think it was also he was saying that, and the reason why Jenard did what he did is because it shows he's not in his right mind. He's coked up.
He's high. Yeah, he's high. Yep.
And he was just like, "Bam, I gotta take him out now because this is the second time that you've pushed up on me. Like you caught me off guard once at the outside of the warehouse, and you got me then, but now you threatening me and talking disrespectful to me in front of King Kilo and JoJo. So now I have to do something in order to show."
That's a good point, Mary.
Disrespect to be allowed.
The way they shot this scene was really good too. I like how they shot this scene because it went to black after Jenard shot him, and then when it came back, it almost made you feel like Jenard hadn't shot him, like maybe shot at him or around him. And then, of course, they show where he did shoot him, whatever. But I really like how they shot that scene. I thought that was dope how they did that. And it seemed like Big Baby was surprised as well. Him and JoJo seemed to be surprised that Jenard had done that as well. But I guess because they didn't get the information out of JP before he was unalive.
And I think it was also because that was never the plan.
Yeah, they was pissed.
Okay.
Because remember,
but again,
JoJo was like, "What the hell?"
Yep, he did. He was like, "What the hell?" That wasn't the plan.
And then King Kilo is upset at Jenard at this point. He was like, "Man, listen, his pride let him get in the way of that." Yep, that's what it was. His pride. His pride, and he was embarrassed too because JP had said in front of them that I whip your ass in front of JoJo and King Kilo. So that was another reason why he had to go ahead and delete JP as well, and because there's no love lost there. So that was an easy unaliving for Jenard. And I said it that Jenard was going to be the one to take out JP, and he was going to get rid of King Kilo in this scene right here. I said it.
Retro did say that.
I wrote it. Which I thought this was just so stupid how he did it though, because I'm like, JoJo, you again standing there like you had the strap in your hand when y'all came in the door.
But he put it up. I realized that.
Oh my god!
I realized that afterwards because when he had JP at gunpoint and he went to go check the house, after he came back, he put it back. He put it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he put two in the back on King Kilo, and then he damn near unloaded the clip on JoJo, and then he gave him one to the head, two to the chest. Rock told us in Raising Canaan what to do when you want to put them down. Two to the chest, one to where they used to think at. That's what he gave JP, and that's what he gave King Kilo. So we have two unalive Albanians outside, and 3 unalive people inside this house right here. This
5
is
bodies.
5 bodies. This is a capital murder charge right here. You got Jenard.
Shit, we had a capital murder just off of one.
This is a bloodbath. Right? This is a serial killing right here.
Yeah,
Jenard
at this point, it's a
had-
mass shooting.
Yeah, for real. Damn, RP JP. JP ain't deserve it. JP was a good dude. And
Look
I
at him,
wish
stoned
he
out his mind.
would've- stoned out his mind. And I see the cauliflower ear is back too. And it's back worse than it has been in previous episodes.
Yeah, I think they've been showing. They've been putting more emphasis on this cauliflower ear this season.
And Tommy is on the phone when all this goes down, and he just loses his mind in the background, hollering for JP, and knowing that he's helpless and couldn't do anything. And he listened to his brother, cries out for help. Well, he wasn't really crying for help, but
Yeah.
He was hollering out for Tommy to see about
Jenard the junkie.
he looked like but you know what? This could have been a coke rage.
Yeah, because we know how he is when he's gone off the coke
Yeah.
rate. So that's why I said earlier. That's why I didn't understand why he didn't fight back at JP, knowing that he's high off coke. Because we seen him with a coke rage.
Okay. All right. So let's get into next week's episode. Next week's episode is we do get an episode this week, just like we did on Christmas Day.
Yep.
But before we talk about next week's episode, I want to make sure that everyone understands that after this week's episode, we will have a break.
Yep.
Episode 10 will not air until January the
16th.
16th.
Yep.
January the 16th is when we will get the very last episode of Force. Next week, we will have episode 9 that will drop on Thursday night. It will be a false finale. So it's going to be a lot of work that's going to come out in this episode right here. So let's go ahead and talk about this week's episode. You got Tommy rolling up on Big Smurf and another CBI worker. No doubt, my opinion, he's looking for Jenard.
Yep.
What are y'all thoughts?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Exact same
Now,
thing.
I think Big Smurf gonna ride with Tommy. Yes or no?
No, because there's a certain scene. There's a certain scene where he's in the car with Jenard and I can't think of the other character's name. They wait for him to come out of the church.
Is that before this though?
I mean, it could be, but I feel like it's afterwards.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
but now that you just explained, which I didn't know, this false finale, that kind of answers some questions that I had. As far as the whole church scene, because there's in this
Okay,
as we
so-
go through them, it's some stuff that I had got confused on.
Let's go down a rabbit hole for a minute with the whole Tariq thing. Let's go down a rabbit hole for a second. Oh my God. Ugh, I'm not ready for this. Okay. Everyone seems to think that Tariq is going to show up next week or in episode 10. For that to happen, we should have had something to set us up for that to happen.
It's
Tommy
coming.
has- but when? Don't you think this would have been the episode that he would have called for Tariq?
It's coming. I think at the beginning of episode 9, or either
would
they,
have been a good reason. I'm sorry. Go ahead, M2. I'm sorry.
I think if it doesn't happen at the beginning of episode 9, at the end of episode 9, we gonna see that phone call tie in between him and Tariq
Okay,
and bring him into 10.
Jack, get in this conversation because I want to hear your thoughts on this too. But for me, I felt like they set it up perfectly for him to have a reason to call Tariq. When Che gave him that 24-hour, you have 24 hours to get this work sold, that would have been a perfect opportunity for him to call Tariq
Facts.
for help
Facts.
in getting
Facts.
not help getting rid of CBI. Tommy don't need no help putting bodies down. But what he did need help with was getting his work sold. We saw that he needed help with that. that would have been the perfect opportunity for him to reach out and call Tariq. If that would have been the reason he called Tariq, I would have been all for it. But calling Tariq to help in a war when he got D-Mac there, when he's got Miguel there, when he's got Showstopper there, he don't need Tariq for that. What he needed Tariq was to get this work sold. And Tariq has an infrastructure in New York. Tariq has the course correct and all that stuff. Tariq had the means to be able to move his product in 24 hours. That's what we should have seen Tommy reach out to.
He does. He does, but you got to go back to that phone conversation and think about what Tariq said during the phone conversation.
I get that. Again,
He told him to bring the smoke.
I know. I get that part. But to me, that would have been a better reason. This retro riding here. That would have been
I get exactly. I agree with you 1,000%.
That would have been a better reason for you to call for Tariq versus
You know what? I think with the whole Tariq conversation, man, it kind of is like bridging the gap for one. For two, I said it before. I don't know what type of assistance he's going to get from his new connect. And to be honest, it could be another reason to introduce. I don't see another reason why to introduce another wild card like Kane into the fold. But Kane was a fan favorite when it came down to power.
We didn't. You're right about that, Jack. No, Dexter. We did not talk about that earlier, but I think Tommy is out of money. He's strapped for cash right now, so yes, he is out of money.
I think he gave up his money to Shay. You know, when he
he gave up the last of his money,
his last little bit to Shay when he had to re-up. You know, but I only say that because Kane is a fan favorite, and they didn't have the best relationship, between Tariq and Kane. But I would think that would be if they're talking about bringing if they're talking about bridging the gap and bringing the smoke. Kane is the wild card that Tariq has access to.
Yep,
I get it. But remember, Kane is on the lam right now.
In New York, he is.
Yes, he's on the lam right now, and remember him and Effie are in the win right now. So I don't see Kane working with Tariq unless they bridge men fences. But Tariq and Kane didn't part on good terms still anyway. But I agree with that. I don't know. I felt like this would have been the perfect episode for them to activate that, because when Tariq does show up, D-Mac and them, ain't nobody gonna know who he is. Ain't nobody. To me, they should have established that as hey, I'm finna call my nephew out in New York. He gonna come out and help us out. They should have, even if they would have just spoke it, it would have made sense that, who's this dude that's just gonna show up out of nowhere and save the day. I just don't think that they're setting the tone well for us to receive Tariq, even if he does show up in the last episode. Even if he does show up in the last episode, it's just not going to make sense for him to show up. But going back to me and Fresh's, I feel like Big Smurf would be a fool to stay with CBI because Diamond already done jumped on him one time and smacked him around behind Tommy. So I feel like he may not, in this particular scene right here, he may not be ready to ride with Tommy right now. But I think by the end of the episode, he's going to ride with Tommy.
Yeah, I can see that.
By the end of the episode, he's going to flip sides because he's going to see how unhinged Diamond is, and he's going to see how unhinged Jenard is, and he's going to want to stay alive. And this dude that's standing next to him possibly could be situated. And that might move Big Smurf to go ahead and work with Tommy.
Oh, that dude is nobody. He's done.
Yeah,
like,
he's
done.
This scene right here, I can't figure out what's happening right here. Fresh does better with these scenes than I do, but it looks like the guy that's behind him is pulling.
I thought that was Miguel.
Is that Miguel?
Yeah, I'm almost sure that's Miguel, and they're outside of the Insane Princess warehouse. Okay,
let's talk about that. A lot of people are saying, and that could be that too. Fresh, they could be outside the Insane Princess warehouse. A lot of people are seeming to think that Kate calls Tariq for help.
No,
stranger things could happen, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
Nope.
The only way Kate would do that is if something happened to Tommy, like Tommy had gotten injured or missing or something like that. The only reason I would see Kate calling out for help for Tommy is if something happened to Tommy. But we do have some things to talk about. Okay, what's happening right here, Fresh? You got any predictions for what's happening here? I don't.
I mean, I don't. I think he's just getting. This could be a call from
Or a text from Showstopper.
It could be from that, as well as possibly I can't even think of the person's name at the moment. Dang. I can't even think of, but I know in that scene right there, he's getting a call from somebody, and I believe that's Miguel behind him. Like he's setting something up.
I think this is either before they go see Ortega or after they see Ortega. There's also a scene in the season trailer where Jenard's in this same shirt, this Gucci shirt, and he's got a knife to his throat. Looks like it's going to be one of Ortega's men when they go see Ortega. So this is either before they go see Ortega or after they go see Ortega. I'm leaning that it's probably after they go see Ortega, or maybe it could be before, where they're talking about how they're going to get help from the Marquez cartel to take out Tommy, and they're going to use them as a means to try to get rid of Tommy. Diamond also tells him here that you just put down Tommy's brother. He's going to be after you like the Terminator or whatever. So I think this is when they hatched the plan to go meet with the Marquez cartel to see if they can get some help from them to get rid of Tommy.
I agree with that. I think it's before. So I think this is where they hatched that plan to go see Ortega.
Yeah, they hatched that plan to go see Ortega. Now they are at Ortega's place, and I think the scene that I'm talking about, they didn't show it in this episode, but they showed it in the season trailer, where I think when they show up to Ortega's place, Jenard's gonna get ran up on by one of Ortega's men with a knife. And then Ortega is pretty much the same thing. I'm ready for him to go.
Yeah.
He make the same sad ass promises. Oh yeah, Tommy's gonna be unalive tonight. He's gonna be taken care of. Okay, Ortega.
I hate his acting too. I ain't even gonna lie.
I don't understand why we have him this long. I don't understand why they didn't situate him in jail. I don't understand why we've kept Ortega all the way down to season.
Me either. I'm over him.
We could have gotten rid of him by now. He's useless. Okay, Fresh. Is this the RDs rolling up on Tommy to try to find out what's going on with King Kilo, since they found him unalive in Tommy's place?
I mean, it could be, but I kind of feel like it's Ortega's people along with like some CBI folks. The main question I want to know is, but now since you said it's a false ending, I want to know who they're taking right here, because they're taking somebody. They're grabbing somebody in the background.
Yep.
If you look in the background while they're shooting, they're grabbing somebody.
I'm going to have to wait till Starz drop the pictures to get a little bit more insight on that. I can't tell who the significance of who they would be grabbing up right now.
I mean, but since we know it's a false ending, could be Mireya. Who knows? But they grabbing somebody.
No, I think Mireya, Kate, D-Mac, all of them are safe now at
all them are safe. I think all of them are safe.
All right, Miguel's place. I think that this is the beginning of several conversations that D-Mac and Tommy is getting ready to have. Could it be that D-Mac is feeling a little guilty about what has happened with JP and telling Tommy that Jenard got to go? He finna get put down. I'm finna put him down. Could Tommy be telling him to stay out of this? Let me deal with this. What do you think this conversation is?
Nah, I think he's probably at this point. D-Mac knows who it is, and he's wanting to go put him down. But I think, like I said earlier, Tommy's gonna tell him we got to be strategic about it.
I agree.
Now we got, with Ortega being out, we also have the Marquez cartel after us, along with Diamond and CBI, along with, they got the Assyrians on their side as well. Which we don't know if they're going to officially join them, but they might think that he still got the RD. So I think he's going to just say like, "Yo, we got to be strategic about how we move forward with this." Like we gonna get payback, but we gotta be strategic about it. Like we just can't go out there and just whatchamacallit.
Nuts place.
Yeah, it's too much going on. But we do know that they at the warehouse, Miguel's warehouse.
Yeah, they at Miguel's place. All I know is y'all need to have y'all black Nike Tech, and we riding at dawn. We need shiesties, and we need black Nike Tech, and we need Kevlar vests. Cause we finna go slide with Tommy. We finna let them things ring out. We finna go slide with Tommy. We dropping everybody at CBI. Any CBI member, go down. And the first person we rolling up on is Marshall. We're gonna take his little punk ass out, and then we gonna hunt down these streets for Jenard. We finna hunt down these streets for Jenard. But we at dawn, fellas. Be ready.
At dawn.
Nike Tech, all black.
Nike Tech, shiesties.
Yes, let's go.
Kevlar. Okay.
Let's go.
Yo, Murray, no, that's a good theory that could possibly be Vic.
That could have been, that could have been Vic taken.
Okay, Mary.
Yeah, that's a good theory. I didn't think about that.
Right here, they could be taking Vic.
They could definitely be taking Vic.
But for what?
I mean, because they don't know outside of Diamond, Jenard, and Tommy, nobody knows that Vic is a CI. So they'll still think that Vic is still working with Tommy.
Yeah. Or Tommy set all that up, and like I told y'all, Vic is out of here.
Well, I thought Vic was in custody. What? How does he get out of custody?
I mean, again, he gets out of. I mean, he's technically, quote unquote, not locked up, but they took him in.
Come on, they got crews out. $1 million a brick. So if they got crews out, they can get Vic out.
Is there anyone else connected to Tommy? See, we got Mireya, we got Miguel, Showstopper, D-Mac. Is there anyone else out there that is a Tommy supporter?
No.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to see more of these pictures when Starz drop them tomorrow. This right here threw me. I couldn't figure out where we were going there, but that's a good theory right there. It could possibly be Vic getting yoked up. Do you think that? See, I'm a little worried about this situation right here because now is not the time for D-Mac to go into YN mode, and I feel like D-Mac ain't gonna be trying to
go. I'm telling y'all,
D-Mac ain't gonna be trying to
crash out.
He is about to crash out.
Crash out.
But he's gonna have to listen. I don't think that he's going. I think he might go rogue for a little bit, but I think he might fall in line.
I agree with that.
This could be his ass getting yoked up.
Nah, that person whoever getting yoked up too big, man. D-Mac ain't that big.
I like the message that Miguel gave Tommy here in this scene right here. He said we got to be worried about the living right now rather than focus on the dead. So I get that your brother has been unalive. You want to avenge him, but your mama in there, your baby mama in there, your nephew in there. We got to worry about keeping them safe.
Mm-hmm.
That was good advice from Miguel. And Miguel, you know, they getting ready to suit up. They getting ready to ride too. So we'll meet them at dawn. We off in the ride.
Yep.
But we pulling up in an all black Wagoneer though. We pulling up in an all black Wagoneer, blacked out. Yep. And we're gonna ride. We're gonna ride with them. Showstopper is there. Where's Showstopper at this episode? What do you think her thoughts on all of this? Is she going to help them?
Of course. She don't have
she definitely gonna help them.
She don't have a choice.
She don't have a choice. Why is that?
Because if she wants that meeting with Che, she has no choice but to ride with them. Like she told them, like, yeah, it's y'all meet, it's y'all, but I definitely think she's more so going to ride because now that she found out that Jenard was the one that took out JP, she's definitely going to want to get that revenge, and she's going to want to ride because now that she found that out. Because now that wasn't business, that was more so personal.
And for some reason, I think that she's going to get alone time with her meeting with Che. And she's going to try to spin her own narrative about her being a connect. So I think in this scene right here, she is finally getting her meeting with Che. And I think she's going to run that same game that she ran on Peter with the Albanian with Che. And something about her Che's going to like.
Yeah.
I think Che's going to like her.
Yeah, and I think also because she's going to have the backing of Tommy and Miguel.
And the not only do she got them clubs, she got Garfield Park.
What they call it, the Viagra Triangle.
The Viagra Triangle, and then she got the other territory that she took over from Claudia as well. So she do got territory. Yep. So, and she's got everything set up. She's got a network set up, seems like. So I think that she will get some alone time with Che to spin her own story. In this scene in the trailer right here, Tommy announces to everyone that this is it. So this could be information that he has been waiting on. And I think CBI is going to switch up locations from the basement to the church. And I think this is where we see Tommy and Miguel and them pull up on CBI at the church and attempt to take them out. I think there will be some CBI members. There will be some RD members that probably get put down at that church, but I don't think Jenard, and Diamond will take a hit. But I think there will be some members from CBI that they will put down.
Yeah, I agree.
The streets are telling me that Tommy could lose someone else too. So the only person that's left for him to lose is D-Mac, Mireya, and Kate. I'm a little worried about Kate because Kate done been with us a long time. It's time.
I don't think they're gonna lose. I don't think Tommy gonna take no more L's. Not right now.
I don't know. I think they're gonna take.
Not right now.
I think it's gonna be somebody gonna get a stray bullet at that funeral. When Jenard rush up in there,
I don't think it. If they do, I don't think it's gonna be curtains for them. They won't be situated.
Okay.
If that's the question. If that's the case, then do we even get the funeral scene the next episode since this is supposed to be a false ending?
I think so, because remember Jenard and Big Smurf them are outside the church in the van.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't see it in these clips, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is it going to be because that's the question I wanted to ask is because if the funeral's at the church, is that before they go into the church and shoot it up, or is that after?
I think there's two different churches that we're talking about. And the place where CBI is being held up, I'm calling it a church, but it could be like an auditorium. It looks like it could be like a theater or something, or an old auditorium or something that they're held up in. I'm talking about JP's funeral. I think that in this scene right here, Tommy has gotten he's got intel on where CBI is being held up at right now. And they all getting ready to ride on him. In the season 3 trailer, you see Miguel, Tommy, and all them busted into what looks like a church, but that could be like an auditorium or some old theater or whatever, busting in and shooting up the place. That is them coming after CBI. That's Tommy's group coming after CBI. What I'm worried about is Jenard and his road crew that's outside of JP's funeral and talking about going in and shooting up the place. We don't see if that happens or not in the trailer. All we see them is sitting outside of the church and them coming out of the church. Because remember, we see them all coming out of the church. I think that Jenard them is going to spray them or try to shoot up the place as they're coming out of church, much like how they did at whatchamacallit's funeral and Lorenzo's funeral at book 2. I think we're going to get a similar scene like that.
Dexter said in the chat that it could be D-Mac's girlfriend that catch a stray.
Okay, I didn't think about that. Yes.
And that's good. I didn't think about that.
Her. That could be her. Somebody else on Tommy's side is gonna fall.
That would make the most sense that his girlfriend catch a stray.
Because remember, we started this season off with. Remember how we started this season off fresh? We started this season off by saying D-Mac was going to lose everybody. He was going to lose his daddy. He was going to lose his girlfriend and his best friend. That could very well happen. I think whatever happens to Marshall happens in this episode too.
Well, he already lost 2 so far. Marshall ain't his friend no more. His daddy gone.
But does Marshall end up riding for D-Mac in the end, and he
No.
ends up leaving his life behind?
No.
Does he take a bullet for D-Mac?
Could be.
He could.
Could be. All right. So, any thoughts on this scene right here? That's my thoughts. That they're getting information on where CBI is at, and they're getting ready to go slide on them.
Yeah, I had the same theory.
Okay. See, Vic is still in custody. He's being questioned. I don't know what possible information that he has for anybody that's useful. Unless they're trying to get him. Unless they're trying to get him to work with Tommy again to try to get information.
I think that's all it is. They just, but this also could be at the very beginning of the episode. But
he's so stupid.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. They're just trying to get information out of him as far as to get information on Tommy or have him set Tommy up or whatever or whatnot. I don't think it's that much of it.
I think this is the last time we see the basement for this season right here. I think after this is probably going to happen earlier in the episode where Gray Skull and the rest of the RDs show up to confront Diamond and Jenard about what happened to King Kilo and JoJo. That's what this is. And I think they quit the correlation here as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing.
And mind you, Big Smurf is in this scene right here. That's Big Smurf holding a strap on him right now. He's got that same shirt on. So I feel like these are the earlier part of the episode. This happens pretty early in the episode. By the end of the episode, Big Smurf gonna slide with Tommy.
One joint I wanted to bring up about the church, and that's why now that you said it's a false ending, it kind of makes sense. Because remember, or the auditorium, when Tommy and them roll up in there, Tommy has that gold Desert Eagle.
Yep.
He gave that to the Assyrians.
He do have that gold Desert Eagle. He does.
So the question is, how did he get those strapped back from the Assyrians?
Okay.
It's not it. They didn't show it in this trailer. They didn't show it at all.
Whatever's going on here, could this have something to do with the Assyrians?
That could be.
It could be. Because remember when he had that gold Desert Eagle, he said, I used to have one just like this.
No, and then he said it was a twin too. So did he give both of them to Ashir? Maybe he only gave him one.
I thought he gave them both. I thought he gave all the.
He gave them all the guns.
Yeah, I thought he gave them all of them along with the work.
Okay. Well, all I know is I'm ready. I'll be ready at midnight. I'll be ready at midnight. This gonna be a banger episode, y'all. It's gonna be some heat. It's gonna be
Can't
some
wait.
heat in this episode. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be fire.
Also, I want to go ahead and let everyone know that we have a interview set up with Miriam A. Hyman on January the 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. PST time, and 7 p.m. Central Time. On January the 9th, we will be sitting down with none other than Stacey Marks herself to talk about her role on the show. And we want you guys to come check that video out. We also will be sitting down with the worst hitman in the Power Universe. We'll be sitting down talking to him about his experiences on the show. So once we get that scheduled, we'll get that posted. So we want to make sure that you guys pull up for the interview. This should be a quick interview with Stacey because she's agreed to fit us into her busy schedule. Yep. So we're really excited about that, to talk to Stacey Marks. And y'all, please don't go too bad on her.
Don't worry, we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that controlled.
But we appreciate it, fellas. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about or announce, or any last minute theories for next week?
Nah, my theories done what kind of went out the window. Now, just you said that's gonna be a false ending. So
yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of crash house scenes. That's all.
Yeah, like
when I say a false ending, I think the resolution to the story in Chicago is going to be resolved next week. Remember, I said I feel like in episode 10, wherever Tommy wakes up at in episode 10, it is not going to be in Chicago, whether it's in Barcelona with Mireya, whether it's back in New York. I feel like whatever events that happen in episode 9 are going to end the Chicago story. The remainder of the season is going to be Tommy's rebirth. Remember how it ended in OG Power where we saw Tommy was leaving New York, heading to Chicago, and then
And
the
hit
very
Spanky
first
in the eye.
episode, of course, we saw him pulling into Chicago. So I think it's going to be a very similar situation to that. We're going to see Tommy either leaving Chicago or has left Chicago already, and he is going to wake up, or the show is going to pick up wherever Legacy is going to be at.
Okay.
But for me, I still can't make sense of how Tariq shows up.
That's why I said I feel like he's not.
He would have to be in this episode in order for it to make sense.
It's coming. I think it's gonna be episode 9.
Episode 10 is a reunion episode where Tommy reaches out to Tariq in that episode and they meet in that episode.
Yeah, I think that's what
I think. This is what I think. I think Tommy is going to make a phone call. They'll tie the phone call in to some point. We only saw what Tariq said on the phone. We didn't know what Tommy said on the phone, but I think Tommy's going to make a phone call. Tariq will be in by the end of episode 9.
I say the back end of episode 10, they're gonna put it all together and just have us on the edge of what's next.
Yep.
Or is episode 10 a pilot for Legacy?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be. I can see that.
Because after episode 9, what is there left? Unless we're tying up loose ends in episode 10. Because I think
tying up loose ends.
I think Jenard is gone by the end of episode 9.
Me too.
I think Diamond is okay. Here's another thing we didn't talk about too. There's a lot of thoughts out there of Diamond going back to prison, and I was originally one of those persons that thought that Diamond was going back to prison as well. Does he go down in a blaze of glory? Does he end up being the one to take Jenard out?
My theory was that they take each other out.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yep. Okay.
Because Shanti put it, because as we saw when Diamond told Jenard to do what I say earlier in this episode, he had an attitude about that. He didn't really like that. We also know Jenard is like coked out of his mind, so that's amplifying it. And then with Shanti telling Diamond that Jenard has been wanting to unalive him, I think it's going to come to a head, and they both just going to X each other out.
Are we looking at one of those The Wire situations? You remember on The Wire, Avon and Stringer kind of took each other out in different ways. Are we
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be them both facing each other. Like they both going to be having a conversation, and then they both just going to up the polls, and they're just going to take each other out.
Oh, I hate that. I wouldn't like that. I can see it happening. But I wouldn't like it.
I don't know about that. That's a good theory right there. C Fluid. They did tease that, Dexter. They did tease that. I felt that way too. That's a good theory right there. C Fluid. Rojas takes him out, except for the actor that plays Rojas. He's also a YouTuber, and he's expressed frustrations of not being invited back for this season. I caught a couple of his lives where he mentioned that he would have liked to have been asked back for the final season. So if they do that, then it's not going to happen on camera. I don't know. That's a good thought. Because, I mean, they did kind of tease Diamond taking out Jenard. I kind of want Tommy to take Diamond out. And I kind of want D-Mac to be the one to take out Jenard.
Could be.
So if Tommy gets a body, I want it to be Diamond.
It could be. It could be.
What happens to Miguel? Does Miguel make
I
it
want
out?
Tommy to take out Jenard, man.
Miguel, I think Miguel makes it out.
Originally, I
Miguel might be the one
wanted
in
Tommy to take
jail.
out Jenard as well, but that's D-Mac's body.
Yeah.
That
Miguel
belongs-
might be the one that go to jail.
Remember, I forgot what episode it was. Remember when
Miguel
Diamond
might
went?
take out Jay. Miguel
Remember when Diamond went back to the chair in the barbershop, and he was looking in the mirror and he was foreshadowing, and then Jenard was the one that brought him out like that daydream,
and Tommy was there.
and Tommy was there. I think it could be Tommy that kills him, that takes him out.
It needs to be Tommy to take out Diamond. Tommy needs to be the one to take out Diamond. And Jenard, if Diamond doesn't take Jenard out, then it needs to be D-Mac that takes out Jenard. He needs that. That would be more satisfying. Since Jenard has spent the entire series trying to unalive him and get him unalive, it would only be fitting for D-Mac to be the one to take him out. So
I agree with that.
I guess we'll see. Well, we'll save some of these for our predictions video on tomorrow. Hopefully Starz don't play in our face this week and drop them pictures tomorrow and don't make us wait till Wednesday to drop them.
Yeah.
But we'll check our account and we'll make sure that they're there and we'll get our predictions video out. Fellas, any more last minute housekeeping?
Nah.
Just want everybody to have a safe and happy New Year, man. Before we because we ain't gonna tap in until afterwards. We appreciate y'all coming by for Power, Bel Air. None of this will move the way it's moving without y'all. Truly appreciate y'all stepping in every weekend and linking up with us.
Hey, Jack, thank you for that because you're absolutely right. It's been a great 2025 with you guys, and we really enjoyed it. And we really appreciate all the love, all the super chats, all of the support, all of the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. We really appreciate you guys, and we wouldn't keep showing up every week if it wasn't for you guys. So we look forward to growing with you guys in 2026. We're looking forward to many more years of power content. We got Origins on the way. We got Raising Canaan on the way, which is our favorite. So we do want you guys to have a safe and happy new year, and we will see you guys in 2026.
For sure.
Yep.